Good.
How we lose Brooks already? This is masterful planning.
I'm back. I'm back.
He's back.
Oh man, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
What's
Brooks is back from the dead.
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm on the upswing, not fully back, but I'm able to do some stuff now.
So, what do you think you had, man? Just like the flu?
Flu, norovirus, something. Basically, been peeing out of my butt, and which is always fun.
Blast.
And yeah, I mean, literally just constant like chills, and like my whole body ached. Felt like my bones, my joints were all aching. And yeah, it was no fun. Terrible headache. I wasn't congested at all and wasn't like coughing or anything like that. Just felt absolutely terrible otherwise. Like
How would you
literally
feel
just
to
had
be-
zero energy too.
How would you feel to be the woman named Nora who got a virus named after her?
Yeah, right.
A math teacher in high school always used to say, "What were the odds that Lou Gehrig would get Lou Gehrig's disease?"
Is that
Do you think
Rattleball?
No, it was Jeff Blake.
Do you think people still want to go to Wuhan ever?
No. You want to go to 3 Mile Island?
Nah, it sounds tropical.
Yeah, not really. Yeah. What's up, guys? Let's talk some baseball and football today. We've got our snake draft, which is going to be chain restaurants. We're going to do our all-pro teams. We're going to talk about Wild Card Weekend, Verlander, Charlie Morton, Luis Castillo. But first, at the top, our buddy Brian here wants to give a little shout-out tribute to his dear uncle.
Yeah, so my late uncle, Lee Michael Tootin, it was his birthday on the 7th. So I wanted to give I just wanted to kind of comment on my Uncle Lee. That's shame is I've done a very bad job of staying in touch with my family over the course of a majority of my life. And it's something I'm trying to do really hard now. And so I want to talk about my Uncle Lee. He's a very good man. Army, flew helicopters, worked for his worked in the aircraft community, and passed away a couple years ago, buried in Arlington National Cemetery. And such a great man, and very impactful to so many people that we didn't realize how impactful he was, unfortunately, until his passing. And the reason that he had to kind of keep it quiet is because of what he did and how he did it. And but he was a great man, and he took care of my family, my cousin Dustin, my cousin Katie, my aunt Robin, and he's very missed. He's very missed by so many people. And I just wanted to, his birthday was on the 7th. We did our last podcast on the 6th. So I wanted to reach out to our viewers on whatever platform you watch, and just know how important it is to take care of your friends and your family. And I am working dearly to continue to get better at taking care of my family.
Yeah.
And then second, a friend of mine lost his friend. My buddy Drew Simmons lost his friend, and his friend was a big mental health person. Really wanted to harp on it. I'd never had the opportunity to meet this friend of Drew's, but from what Drew has told me, he was a very good person, and he was big in the mental health community. So once again, this kind of goes to the mental health thing that we always talk about as my face leaks out of every orifice it possibly can. Just please take care of yourselves, talk to people, be around people, listen to people. And I've only known Drew for about a year and a half, but just seeing just talking to him about his friend who he just lost via the phone, you could hear how passionate he was about his friend. And whenever you lose somebody, it's difficult. But whenever you lose somebody to something that might be something they don't want to talk about, it's extremely hard for us to handle. and you don't know why they didn't reach out soon.
Yeah, I mean, well said. Always reach out. We harp on it on this podcast all the time. Always reach out. And even if you're reaching out to somebody who they don't want to talk, at least they know you're there. At least they know they can count on you if they need to. We lost a member of the Orioles family this week as well. Brian Mattis found dead in Arizona at 37 years old. Time of death at this point, we don't know, but prayers out to his family. I think actually, Brooks, me and you may have met his mom in Arizona at the All-Star game. And weird, like, Phillies that was it. Or was it or something? And they were super cool. We didn't even know who they were at the time, but yeah, it just sucks hearing that, especially at such a young age, 37 years old. That's still really, really sad. And also my buddies Paul and Ailish married earlier this fall. Their dog Willow passed away. Willow. She was a big part of our group in college. A bunch of my friends, and losing a loved one, even if it's a furry, is not easy either.
Losing a furry friend is equally as hard as losing a less furry friend. We'll put it that way. Dusty, your audio is pretty crappy right now, but
you're welcome.
You're welcome as well. But Willow, I'm sure, was an amazing puppers.
Willow was amazing, and we're gonna miss her.
You're very welcome. You were very welcome. It's funny. We talk about we talk about mental health a bunch, and losing a furry friend, losing a human, they all kind of correlate. The more you care, the more it hurts. So
I shouldn't be Pigtown. I've been to the bathroom more in the last 3 days than I have in the last 3 months. That's for sure.
But on that note, when I was talking with Drew yesterday on the phone, and you could just hear how much he cared about his friend. And I don't want to use the friend's name because it's inappropriate. I never met him, but he said he really cared about the mental health community. And so that's obviously that's very important to me. It's very important to us. So I just wanted to kind of reach out. And then my Uncle Lee, my Uncle Lee was the man. He was funny as heck. Loved to hunt. Loved to have a good time. He basically would be wearing Brooks's outfit right now in a tree stand if he was still alive. So
yeah, I'm just sitting here trying to stay warm. Luckily, I don't really have the chills anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like
Dusty's on mute.
It's like 14 degrees here right now, so
yeah,
it is cold.
Yeah, Dusty, I don't think you have audio now. Yeah, I do. It's just chill. We're gonna be fine.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna put it together here, boys. We got a long day.
Yeah, we got a long day. A lot of stuff to talk about here. Let's talk about some baseball first. You guys want to talk about baseball first?
Well, let's talk about Brian Mattis a little bit here, if you can. I know we already mentioned him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dustin and I did, for whatever reason, we were at a random Chili's or like TGI Fridays, whatever they had in left field at the time there. We were hanging out at the bar watching probably the Futures game. I forget what we were watching then.
It was the Futures game, I believe.
And we just started talking, like our dad and his dad and like his mom was there too. Just started talking to them. And I don't know how we started talking. I don't know if we were wearing Orioles stuff.
I think she was wearing an Orioles, like a Brian Mattis jersey, and we commented on it because
we were like, "Oh, sweet, we're Orioles fans." You never see anybody wear Orioles stuff anymore, like especially on that side of the country, especially since they sucked at the time.
Yeah.
So we were like, "Hell yeah, Orioles fans, go O's!" And just started talking to them, and then they didn't mention that they were Brian Mattis's parents until like 30 minutes into the conversation.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they were honestly some of the nicest people we've met at an All-Star game.
Yeah, and by all accounts, like him and his family were super well liked. He was a super good, like super big locker room guy that people always said he was awesome. And he was the Big Poppy stopper. That's what I remember about him most. He was Big Poppy was a Hall of Famer against every pitcher he faced except for Brian Mattis. For whatever reason, he was able to get that guy out a ton, and we played him a ton. Trust me.
Product of the University of San Diego, 8-year career, almost all with the Orioles except for one little, cup of coffee with the Cubs.
Yeah, I think he was with the Diamondbacks too, but I don't think he ever played a game there, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, career WAR I think was around 2 or 3, somewhere in that vicinity. Came out as a starter. I want to say drafted 4th overall. Either way, I mean, he was part of the Orioles resurgence, and for us, I know I'm older, but the Orioles basically stunk all my life, except for 96, 97, and then 2012 to 2014, and he was part of that 12 to 14 run. So, always in debt. Just stinks. Way too early to go.
It sucks. Just the whole everything around it, really. Obviously, we don't know what happened. And at this point, it's not important. What's important is remembering him and being supportive of his family and his loved ones.
He did win an Indie Ball championship with the Long Island Ducks, I believe.
The Long Island Ducks. Didn't know that was a team. Never
We
heard
need
that
to
name.
see we need to see a hat there. That's got a
see if I can pull it up real quick.
LID lid.
Love it. That should be that should be a draft, by the way. The best minor league hats or logos.
Yeah, we should
we
do
can
that.
do that.
That would be tough, actually.
Well, we might have to go 20 rounds.
I call them Montgomery biscuits.
You took it out of my fucking mouth, the Montgomery biscuit. When the biscuit's tongue is butter, that's when you know you've hit the home run.
Yeah.
There we go. So pretty sweet logo.
Long Island Ducks looks pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet
the
logo.
Oriole logo.
Yeah.
It does. Like when you in the second picture up in the top left, it looks like the Orioles. It kind of looks like Oregon and the Oriole bird had a baby.
Yeah, you're right. Which is sick.
Yeah, pretty sweet. I like both those logos. All right, let's talk about some baseball. We haven't talked since Charlie Morton signed with the Orioles, and we have, but we didn't talk about it on our show on Tuesday. 1 year, $15 million. Obviously not going to be top of the rotation guy, but a guy who's made 30 starts pretty much every year of his career, going back a long way. Brings stability to the rotation. Don't hate it. I know a lot of people don't like the number, but who cares? It's not your money. It's a 1 year deal. It doesn't matter. Obviously, we had to overpay him to get him to come to Baltimore. And people are saying, we'll talk about the Verlander deal. I've seen a lot of Birdland saying Verlander signed with the same number in San Francisco as we signed Charlie Morton for. Obviously, you'd rather have Justin Verlander. I think maybe you wouldn't even at this point because he's 42 years old, but he's definitely a bigger name. But look, you can't. If we would offer Justin Verlander 1 year, $17.5 million, he wouldn't have come to Baltimore. He wanted to go to San Francisco. That's the bottom line, and you have to understand that as a baseball fan. Like, you're not always going to get the biggest name, especially if we're a small market team. Anyway, what do we think about Charlie Morton? You can talk about Verlander to San Francisco. What do we like about it? What do we dislike about it? Brian, let's let you go first.
No, he's always been a stalwart. Wherever he's been, he's been an innings eater. This reminds me so much of a Kevin Millwood deal. That's really what it reminds me of, but with a better team, obviously. When Kevin Millwood came here, we were the armpit of the league. So the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, the Hillsboro Hops. I mean, now we've gone down a rabbit hole here. Yeah. I love it. And also, Merrick, the hat you have in your picture is exquisite.
That's a big hat.
It's bigger than the average size hat.
Bigger than an average hat.
So this really reminds me a lot of a Kevin Millwood deal. You're looking for an innings eater guy. You're looking for someone that's always going to be there. He's going to show up to work. Always Kyle Gibson, always going to post. Yeah. So I like the deal. The number stinks. I understand that.
Who cares?
But like you said, Dusty,
it's the market now.
And
where it's at.
We saved $240 or $50 million by not signing Corbin Burns, unfortunately. Yeah. So we're going to dump that money into relievers in some way, shape, or form at some point. And even if that means taking on contracts during the trade deadline, we have that money now to use.
Do we have an ace at this point? No, not really,
No.
unless Grayson kind of ascends into that. And he could. He certainly could. He's young. He's definitely talented enough, and he's got to prove that he can stay healthy throughout the season. But I do like that we have rotational depth now. And I do like that we have options. We have guys who have pitched in starting roles and relieving roles in Suarez. We have guys like Kramer who are now going to be like the 6th or 7th option as opposed to the 4th or 5th option, which I like a lot better. But obviously you'd still want that top of the line guy. And all the rumors are that we still are in on Castillo and we're still in on Dylan Cease and the guys who are available potentially before the season at the deadline, however that works. Brooks, what do you got bringing up here on this screen? Is this a baseball
Charlie
page?
No.
Yeah.
Charlie Morton, baseball savant page that I cannot see.
I know we can't see, but the biggest thing I look at, this is why I always hated the Ubaldo Jimenez deal. And I'm not comparing Ubaldo and Charlie Morton. When you see velo going down and you see whip going up, whip walk hits per inning pitched, for all you baseball novices out there that listen or watch. When you see that whip go up and you see the velo coming down, we signed Ubaldo to a nice big deal at the time, and that was occurring. He was getting more people on base. That's not good. And his velocity was going down. That's also not good. And so we decided to pay him. That makes total sense. Hopefully that is not the case with Charlie Morton.
No, I mean, his average velocity last year was still like 94. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's exit velo.
Let's go to the top. It'll tell you. Pitching velo should be fastball velo.
94.7.
94.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too tiny. Yeah, there you go. Now we're dancing. Now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah, look, and if you look at this baseball savant page, if Brooks stops scrolling
it stops scrolling everywhere so that
I'm trying to get back to the right spot.
It's like watching the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, it's not at the right spot. But anyway,
we're moving on.
If you go to the top of the baseball savant page, you can see that he gets ground balls at an elite rate. He's not going to strike you out. He's 40 plus years old, I think, at this point, or close to 40 years old. He's not going to blow you away with this stuff. He's got a really good curveball, which he throws a ton, and he excels at getting ground balls, which I like, especially as a guy who you want as an innings eater. Keep the game moving. Don't walk anybody, and keep the ball on the ground. That's really what we're looking for. I don't love the walk percentage being close to 10%. That feels high for an older vet. Maybe Zach Eflin could potentially teach him how to not walk guys. I really hope Zach Eflin wants to teach all of our pitching staff how to not walk anybody.
There we go.
That would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, I like it. Do I love it? No. Do I think it's the last move we're going to make? No. But I like it. I think it provides stability and leadership to a super young team. And I think he can definitely help the younger guys, even if he's not as successful a player on the field.
So I wanted to go here. I was pulling some stats the other day. I don't have it filtered the way I want it, like I had it. His numbers are actually pretty decent. Where did I want to go with this? So arm angle, a lot of people like to talk about the arm angle dropping. It came back up in 2024. Do I really care as much about that? No. Just because he's still going to hang around there. He's still kind of a 3/4 arm guy no matter what. Where was it?
Okay, why don't you find it? Because I'm my head is actually spinning.
Yeah.
Watch.
Here, I'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anyway, Alex Styles asked, "Do you Castillo or Cease? Who'd you rather trade for?" Castillo's got more control. Cease is going to be kind of like a Corbin Burns type deal where you trade for him and he just kind of on a prove it deal. So do you want 3 years control with the older guy, or do you want, the younger guy who's better just for 1 year?
Was Cease the one that came out about the playoff thing?
No, that was Crochet.
Okay, Crochet. All right. With more team control, to Alex's question, I'm going to go Castillo. Team control. I think that's what the Orioles want. And also going back to Charlie Morton, it seems like we're kind of focusing on guys who are sinker ball, fastball, ground ball guys, low in the zone kind of dudes. Even though Camden Yards, I think, is moving the ball in a little bit this year in left field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not looking for fly ball pitchers. That's why we all love Zach Britton so damn much.
If we trade Kramer or a younger arm for a top end guy before we sign him, see as a great depth replacement move. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why everyone's all like, "Hey, we should trade Dean Kramer." Dean Kramer's been really good for us. He's been a dog, especially against the AL East. If you think like how many important games he started last year alone against the Yankees or the Red Sox, or the teams we were competing with in our immediate division. I don't know. I like giving Kramer the ball in bigger spots in the regular season. Obviously, in the playoffs, I don't necessarily love him, but I think as a bottom of the rotation guy / a guy that you're going to be moving in and out of the bullpen, I think he's a good player. If we need to move him to get a Castillo or a Cease, yeah, obviously, I think you have to consider that. But I don't think I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
See, I like a team that has a guy with a man bun. And so I'm going to say let's keep Dean Kramer. That's my methodology, which makes no sense whatsoever. Just that.
Kramer would be a mistake the size of the Glenn Davis trade.
Joe, thank you for that.
Trade McDermott over Kramer. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't seen a ton of McDermott. We did see a little bit of him last year. Obviously, I think we are more interested in Povich as a prospect than
that's what I was going to ask Pigtown is how do we feel about Povich? Do we like Povich more than we like McDermott?
I think we definitely like Povich more than McDermott. I think there's Max Fried in Povich. For McDermott, I haven't seen quite the success. But also, I mean, Pigtown could have a different. You have to keep the lefty. Yeah, and that's part of it too.
Yeah.
You have to have a different look. You can't just go out and throw 5 righties in a row. Teams get used to it. We don't have any lefties in the bullpen either right now that I'm super confident in. Why one Tanner Scott who's still out there, who has ties to the Orioles, would be a awesome add to our bullpen. But
I've talked about how baseball is cyclical. So look, bring in that soft throwing lefty. Bring back Jamie Moyer. I bet you he could still give you 5 innings. Over the course of a season, he could give you 5 innings.
He could give you 5 innings. Yeah, 5 good innings. Aiken, Perez, Rogers, and Povich. Yeah, Rogers and Povich, I think is a good prospect. Rogers is tough because he's kind of like we traded for him and he's kind of a project. Aiken, Brooks likes him a little bit more than I do. I think.
Well, I liked his numbers last year.
Yeah, his numbers were nice.
And Perez I like, but he was hurt a lot of last year and didn't perform as well last year as he did the year prior. So I just don't know. Gregory Soto had 1 ERA in his final 20 appearances. That's true. I completely forgot about him, honestly.
Alex, he is such a wild card.
He is.
You
he's
can
made
tell
a couple all-star teams, though.
Like you can tell how it's great. You can tell how the inning's going to go in the first 2 pitches he throws.
Yeah, but when he has 13 straight good outings, though, when is he not a wild card anymore?
Well, when he hits the bull, that's a little bit of a tough one for me. And I think there was 2 or 3 appearances consecutively where he almost hit Enrico Palazzo.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, he did have I forget the number. It was somewhere around 11 straight good appearances to end the year. So hopefully that's something good to build on.
Hopefully, great tattoo, great arm sleeve. I'm not a tattoo guy.
Pigtown said it earlier, the Verlander stuff. Look, Verlander hasn't been healthy realistically for 2 or 3 years, and he's 42 years old. He is probably the best pitcher of my generation, best pitcher of the last generation of pitchers, other than maybe Clayton Kershaw. Max Scherzer, I think you'd have an argument. But as far as over the last 15, 20 years, he's been the guy. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And yeah, he's a huge name, but he was going to go to a bigger market team. He was always going to get overpaid. And I don't hate having Charlie Morton under the same contract of Justin Verlander at when Justin Verlander's 42. If there's anybody who could be successful at 42, it's that guy, though. He's a freak. He's really, really good at baseball, obviously. Anyway, we've talked a lot about baseball. Brooks, I think you're good. I don't think we need to go too far into this Statcast stuff.
No, you're good.
All right, so we've got a lot of football stuff to talk about. Do you guys want to talk about college football, NFL first, or do you want to do our snake draft first? It's up to you, Brian.
let's hit college football first because it's happening today.
Yeah.
Before that, I want to bring up it's Jimmy Carter Day. So shout out to Jimmy Carter and the U.S. Navy.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go all sentimental today, but it is. I mean, how often do you have the death of a president on the day you're doing a podcast? So for anyone bitching and moaning and wanting the federal government to shut down, shut your yapper. You can go a day without getting your bills mailed to you.
Well, he didn't die today.
Well, no, but his funeral's today, so the federal government is shut down today.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Carter Day, I don't give a damn. I hate politics. I can't stand him. I don't care if he was Democrat or Republican.
The only reason I knew it is because I went to the gym before this, and for whatever reason, when you go to the gym, there's like 8 TVs at my gym, and seven of them at all times are on either CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what people's obsession with watching the news at the gym is. I will never understand it. Put fucking sports on. I don't get it. I hate it. That was my little rant. Sorry.
Put on Cardi B music videos for all I care.
It's so weird. That's
not a knock.
Watching Fox News at the gym. I don't get it.
That is not a knock on the president or the news. Just I don't want to watch it while I'm working out. So
getting your pump on, and Jimmy Carter's just laying there getting his pump on. British Raven, that might have been that's definitely comment of the stream so far.
It's the comment of at least 2025 for sure. Yeah. I think your charcuterie board comment kills.
Yeah, that was a rare. Anyway, Notre Dame and Penn State is happening later today. The line is Notre Dame minus 1.5. This game is being played in the Orange Bowl, which I believe is in Miami.
Yeah.
What do we think about this game? I liked the under when it came out, but I think that it is kind of plummeting because people know that this is going to be sort of a defensive battle. What do we think on that?
And batter. Yeah.
The thing that stood out to me watching the games is that Notre Dame's offense does not seem super explosive. And I don't necessarily know if they have to beat this Penn State team, because I don't think Penn State's offense is super explosive either, but they definitely still have that ground and pound with those 2 running backs. I don't like Aller as much as a lot of people do, but I know he's played well in these last 2 games. You can't deny it. I know it's been against SMU and Boise, but he has played well in these playoffs. I do think this Notre Dame defense is a huge step up from those 2 teams that they played. Like I said, the thing that stuck out to me, Notre Dame, 14 yards was their longest reception against Georgia. They're going to have to be more explosive than that to beat Penn State, I just think. What do you have on this, Brian? You got something?
No, without a doubt. In this game where I think both teams are very close to being evenly matched, I'm taking Notre Dame because their secondary unit is without a doubt the best unit of anything either team can produce. That secondary unit is ridiculously good. I think Penn State, this is personal opinion, Chris Merritt, please don't kill me for this. Penn State has played dog shit teams in this playoff so far. If out of the 12 teams that could be in the playoff, Penn State got the best 2 to play. All right. And call a spade a spade. Whoever wants to fucking come after me, please do. But when you get SMU and Boise State to make your way to the national semifinal, and look, I don't think Notre Dame beats either team on the other side of the bracket.
Or Oregon, who already lost.
Yeah, or Oregon. But the best unit on the field is going to be that secondary of Notre Dame.
Yeah. I think Abdul Carter, we don't know if he's playing. I think everyone's expecting him to play. Do we think he's going to be effective? He's the top 5 pick in the draft. He's probably going to be the first guy defensively off the board, unless you count Travis Hunter as a defensive player, which I don't, because I think he's going to play wide receiver in the NFL. I think that's a massive thing. And also, honestly, I haven't seen a lot out of Marcus Freeman, and James Franklin kind of gives me the ick. We had Merrick on last week talking about James Franklin in big games for Penn State, and his record is bad. Until these last 2 games of this college playoff, they've really struggled. They've really struggled. Yeah.
He is known to buckle in big game situations. Yeah. And I'm sorry to say this, even though they're college football national playoff games, you're playing you're playing Boise. Okay. All right. Great. Go get your big hat. All right. All right. Look, when you play Boise and you play SMU, like those aren't big game bucklers. Play Notre Dame, it's a big game buckler. So I'm taking Notre Dame in this game, and I'm taking Notre Dame big. And I like the Warren kid. That I think he's the best player on either team. By the way, they're tight end, running back, all-world guy.
Ty Warren, I think his name is. Yeah,
he's the best player on the field. But
I think they were saying like if he commits to the draft, if he's able to, I think this year. Somebody was talking about like if he ends up committing to the draft, which he hasn't yet. So it sounds like he's eligible too. He could be the number 1 overall pick.
Which is universal.
It's nuts.
He's not going to be a number 1 overall pick.
He won't be the number 1. There's too many quarterbacks.
5 of the first 7 teams need quarterbacks. There's no way a quarterback is not going number 1.
Why? Why? I mean, you could go trade for JJ McCarthy and give up that pick because he would be the number 1 overall pick.
If the Vikings are willing to do that, why would the Vikings do that? They have a
guy
under contract.
Sure, but I mean, if they need somebody, what's their need right now? Somebody defensively? Is there a defensive stud in this draft that they can go get? Is there some other stud that they need? Like, because they obviously don't need a quarterback. Darnold's 27 years old.
This is all under the assumption they signed Sam Darnold.
Yeah, there's just a lot.
They can franchise him technically.
I just,
he has a weird thing in his contract.
In my opinion, the 2 quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, will both be gone within the top 3 or 4 picks of this draft, regardless. Just because all these teams need quarterbacks, and we've seen it. Like it's really easy to turn your franchise around. The Washington Commanders were terrible last year. They got a new coach, new quarterback. They won 12 games, and they're playing this weekend.
Could you imagine being Quinn Ewers, and you might win the national title, and then Texas goes, "Hey, go find another place to play.
Yeah,
go find another place because we got Arch Manning behind you." So
he's fine.
He'll be like, "Fuck you, I'm going to the draft," and then he'd be the number 1 guy.
I don't think so. This is like the worst quarterback draft in a long time. That is what they're talking about.
Since the Kenny Pickett draft, which was bad.
This is the 2022 Kenny Pickett draft. This is without a doubt the Kenny Pickett draft.
Yeah.
No, so I mean that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like that's why I think that the Vikings are sitting in such a great situation right here to trade for like a top pick if there's somebody that knocks their socks off.
Yeah, but the problem is the rest of the draft isn't supposed to be that great either. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. What do you like in the Notre Dame versus Penn State? Notre Dame's -1.5. Brooks, which way are you leaning?
Notre Dame, just because I hate both these teams a lot. But
is there a way for neither team to win? Can we?
Is there ties? Is there ties?
I mean, honestly, the only way it could be worse is if it was Florida State, Penn State. That's the only way it could be worse.
Yeah,
is James Franklin Marcus Freeman without hair?
No.
Marcus
Freeman's a great looking individual. James Franklin's ugly and terrible.
Don't hold back, buddy.
Not my fault. You're not on the team, Chris.
Yeah, it's just I'm pulling, and I think that Notre Dame's going to win, even just because I hate Penn State that much. But I mean,
what is the disdain for Penn State? I really don't get it. You two hate Penn State so much.
I've hated Penn State my whole life.
Always have.
I've hated them my whole life. I don't know what to tell you.
And to be honest with you, I hate Notre Dame because they're always a bunch of frauds. So
I disliked Notre Dame for a long time because I disliked Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly's not there anymore, so I don't care anymore. I just don't like Brian Kelly, and I don't want him to be successful ever.
I got 2 things here. Marcus Freeman makes Notre Dame likable. I actually really enjoy Marcus Freeman.
Agree with you.
I like Marcus Freeman.
Second, and I think he's like 35. Like he looks like he could still play.
He's right around 40. Yeah.
Hot guy draft.
Oh, he's up there, dude. He's up there. That was a miss. But second, I do like this. This has to do with the game. I do like what James Franklin said to Marcus Freeman in that coach presser where they're sitting next to each other. 38. Thank you, Chris. I do like what he said about how it's unfair that Notre Dame is not in a conference. It basically puts them in the playoff every freaking year. They don't have to play a conference championship game. Conference championship games are being completely diminished by the college playoff. They might not even exist anymore, to the point that they might even want to make the SEC conference championship game a bowl. a bowl game.
Conferences
Wow.
aren't going to exist in like 10 years. It's just going to be
I know,
conglomerations
but
of teams.
It's unfair that Notre Dame and BYU get to be in their own fucking world.
BYU's not. They're in. Well, they were in. Shit. Well, they were in the Mountain West for a little while, and then they were in the Pac-12, I believe. Now they're in the ACC or the Big 12.
See, but the point is, at least they were independent for a period of time. Notre Dame is definitely independent, and the reason they're independent is one reason only: an NBC television contract. And look, it makes total sense for Notre Dame to do that. I'm not saying they're stupid. It just doesn't. It's not fair to the rest of the crew.
Look, I as far as the game goes, Penn State's been leaning on the run, leaning on the 2,000-yard rushers, and I just think they're going to have to lean a little bit more on Aller in this game. I think this Notre Dame defense is definitely the best one they've faced, especially in this playoffs, if not all season. I don't know how they compare to Ohio State's defense. I'd have to look into that. But either way, I think that they're going to have a tougher time running the ball, which means I think they're going to have to ask too much of Aller. And also, Notre Dame has a plus 18 turnover ratio. And I think Aller is prone to making some stupid plays, especially in a big game, especially with James Franklin. I'm going to take Notre Dame. I would not be surprised if Penn State won this game. And honestly, I would be happy with it because I think Texas or Ohio State would absolutely fucking murder them. And I can't wait to bet against them in the national championship if that's what the championship is. But I'm going to be betting on Notre Dame here. I just think they're going to be too much. And I think I like the under as well. I don't think either of these teams have explosive enough offenses to get to 45. I think this is going to be like a 20-14 kind of game. But anyway,
I think Penn State is going to have to pull something out of their ass to win this game. That secondary is too good for Notre Dame. But they're both going to get steamrolled in the next game.
Yeah, I think so too.
You're probably right. Speaking of the next game, let's go to the Cotton Bowl. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Number 8, Ohio State is -6 against number 5, Texas. This game will be tomorrow night, same time as the game tonight, but one day later. Biggest X factor in this game, Jeremiah Smith. He's the best player in the playoffs thus far for Ohio State, the receiver. He's a kid. He can't even go into the draft this year because I think he's still too young. I think Abuka, who's their number 2 receiver, I don't know if I pronounce that correctly, but it's like Emeka Egbuka or something like that is his name. He's going to be the guy who's going to be coming out, and he'll probably be like a first or second round pick as a receiver. But this dude, Jeremiah Smith, 13 catches, 290 yards, and 4 touchdowns in the playoffs so far in 2 games against 2 pretty good fucking defenses in Tennessee and Oregon. That's the biggest X factor. Are they going to be able to stop him? Are they going to be able to stop this home run threat that Ohio State seems to have now? Ohio State seems like they can score from 50 to 60 yards out at a drop of a hat now. And I just don't think Texas is going to be able to keep up with them. What do you guys think about this game? Are you a little bit more bullish on Texas than I am, or do you like this Ohio State team to keep rolling?
I love Ohio State. Texas obviously didn't look, they looked rusty in that last game, to be honest. So, if they figure their shit out, I think they can keep this game close and possibly win, but I'm so impressed by how Ohio State came out and just dominated Oregon, and their defense. To be fair, Ohio State, they didn't, for all intents and purposes, like roll over Tennessee, did they? I know it ended up being a blowout. Maybe they did. I guess they did. But yeah, I think Ohio State is just way too much. It seemed like they were like trying to spread the ball around just to keep everybody happy for a while during the season. And now they're like, all right, we're just going to throw this freshman that's just ridiculously good because we know this is the best receiver we've had come through here. And they've had a lot of good receivers recently. This dude's a true freshman. And I was watching McAfee a couple days. Yeah, I was watching McAfee a couple days ago, and like they asked Darius Butler, they're like, "Can anybody in the country cover this dude like on any team?" And he was basically like, "No, I don't think anybody can, because I think he's that good." So, I look for Jeremiah Smith to just absolutely crush this game because I don't I don't know if Texas's defense is good enough. I know they have a ton of athletes over there. I like their roster. That's why I think this could end up being a decent game. But yeah, give me Ohio State here. What's the line on this? You said
6. It's been 5.5, 6. It's been flip flopping, but it's
flip flopping back and forth. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make a very weird comparison. How I was talking about Gregory Soto earlier, and how you can tell how something's going to go in the first 2 pitches. You're going to know how this game is going to go in the first 2 drives. Because Texas, while their secondary might not be Studley, they have the best corner in the country who will be on Jeremiah Smith, probably follow him around everywhere, unless he is really hamstrung to the left side or the right side. They have Texas has a ton of man meat, huge bodies on that D line. And if you make Ohio State one-dimensional, and then your best defensive player is your corner who you can bracket Jeremiah Smith, you're going to be able to see if Texas is going to win this game pretty damn quickly. So I like the position that Texas is in. I think Ohio State is the better team. It's hard for me to pick this game. If you're asking me with the points, I'm taking Texas. You ask me who's going to win the game, I'm taking Ohio State. And I'll be wrong within the first 2 drives of the game. And the 2 drives, I mean each team. 1 drive by Ohio State, 1 drive by Texas.
This might be a good opportunity to do, instead of betting before the game, do a little live bet. See how the first drive goes. If Texas's defense comes out and stops them, gets a quick stop and forces a punt, maybe say, hey, look, Texas is kind of got it today. Let's see this. And if Ohio State goes out and scores a touchdown on the first possession, maybe just hammer Ohio State because they're going to kill them.
Because Ohio State has Burt. Oh yeah, the kicker.
Burt Auburn is rattled.
Oh yeah.
Ohio State has 3 number 1 college wide receivers.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be. I don't believe they're going to be able to run the ball because of the heavy set Huckleberries that are on the other side of Texas. So they're going to make them one-dimensional. And I just love that corner is the number 1 corner in the country. And he's going to be on Jeremiah Smith. Now, he might torch him for all I fucking know. But they're probably going to bracket him.
If Ohio State can run the ball with Henderson at all, I think that they're going to have so much success because they're going to be able to run play action off of it so easily and get deep shots. I don't think that Will Howard's the best quarterback in this game, which scares me a little bit. Honestly, I think I like the quarterbacking coach better for Texas, and I just like the roster that much better for Ohio State. I don't like Will Howard very much. Ryan Day's a good coach, obviously, based on his record, but he scares me. I like Sarkisian, and I guess Quinn Ewers is kind of hit or miss. But we'll see. If like I said, if TreVeyon Henderson is able to run for 5-6 yards of carry on the first drive, I'm going to be hammering Ohio State right away because I think if they can run the ball, they're going to win this game handily. That's my pick. Are you guys? 2 of us are on Ohio State. Brian, you said you're going to take Texas in the points.
I'm going to take Texas in the points. Yeah, I'm taking Texas.
Fair enough.
I'm going Notre Dame, and I'm going Texas.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame, I think, went straight up. You said it's 1.5. So that's a pick 'em anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Notre Dame, and I'm going Texas with the points. I think Ohio State wins the game.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking at Ohio State. I mean, not Ohio State's going back to Notre Dame's schedule this year. What a fluff job that was. Jesus.
Bucks by double digits, and I hate Ohio State, he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Joe Racky says never Texas, ever. He hates Texas, as we all know. I don't know. I don't hate Texas at all.
I think Joe thinks Bill Clinton is still the president.
All right. Draft or wild card picks first?
Draft. Let's go draft.
Let's do our draft. I agree with you. I like that.
What is our draft?
Our draft is.
By the way, I have trivia for you guys to
Let's do trivia
while we're doing. Yeah, well, no, I want you. I'm going to give the trivia question. I want you to soak on it while we're doing the draft because we have time to think in between picks.
Okay.
Who is the tallest tackle ever in NFL history?
Is it Ogden?
Well, there went trivia. There's your trivia segment. Brooks Rothschild, 6'9".
Was it John Ogden, really?
John Ogden.
Hall of Famer, the original Raven.
I heard this today on DP show. They were going over tallest players by position because apparently Kyle Hamilton is 6. I didn't know Kyle Hamilton was 6'4".
Yeah,
by the way.
dude.
And so he is tied with like 3 other people, like Brandon Browner. Am I saying? I know Browner was his last name. Either way, he was 6'4" as well. And
I think he played for Seattle, Browner.
he did. He was part of the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, Jonathan Ogden, 6'9".
Holy moly, we had a tight draft last week.
Ooh, what was so tight about it, Brooks?
I won by 1, and you and Brian tied.
Whoa!
Okay.
That means Brooks gets to pick his lay of the land here.
Yeah, Brooks, you get to pick. Do you want to go first? Do you want to go last? How do you want to do this? And also, you get to pick where we go too, because you won and we tied.
I need to know what the draft is. So
it's chain restaurants, sit down only. So no Five Guys, no Chipotle, no McDonald's. It's chain restaurants like Outback, Texas Roadhouse. Those kind of
no
things.
fast casual. So like
no
you
fast
can't
casual,
do Chipotle,
no fast food. Also, no Ruth Chris. If you try to take Ruth Chris in this draft, you're a douche.
Why? That's a chain.
No, it's too fancy.
All right, so I'll take Capital Grill off my list.
Yeah. What are you going to have? Fogo de Chao, Ruth Chris, and Capital Grill?
Whoops.
I
like steak.
I'll go third so I can get 2 on the wrap.
Okay.
Who's
do you
going
want to go
first?
first and second?
Well, since you guys tied, let's let Brian go first.
Okay. Cool. All right,
Brian
my number
doesn't
one.
Never get to go first, so that's
Yeah,
perfect.
my number one pick overall. We already talked about it the other day. It's going to be Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. That was my number 3 overall. My number 1 overall is Outback Steakhouse. I went there the other day by myself, and it was awesome. Hopefully, Brooks does not take my number 3, but I have a feeling he may. I actually listed mine in order this time, so I don't have to do any thinking during the draft.
Well,
I have so many written down.
Very underrated. I was talking about this with family. I think Dusty was there too. Give me Longhorn Steakhouse.
That's number 3. Damn it.
And
You can tell we all like steak.
yeah. And you know,
we're so meat and potatoes, guys.
Give me, oh man, which one do I go?
Number 1. It's crazy.
Well, I got to get my steak out of the way.
Yeah.
And I also didn't do very much research on this until right this second.
Until 5 minutes ago, duh.
Because you were fucking butt
4
barfing
seconds
the last 3 days.
Don't ever say that on the podcast again, please. I'm asking you as a friend.
And you know, I'm gonna go with Chili's.
I like it. I think that's a good answer. I think that would have been a popular first pick, so I think you got away with it there. My number 3 is still on the board, so I'm going to take it. Give me B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings.
So I'm not a huge fan.
I love Buffalo Wild Wings, and I go there quite often, even though there's not one within 45 minutes of my house. Brian, you get 2 in a row here, and what do you got?
Here we go, boys. I'm going Cracker Barrel. Got to get me some breakfast.
On my list, but it was further down. Cracker Barrel is a great answer.
And I'm going Olive Garden.
Olive Garden's also
took
really
that
good.
Time.
That was probably like 2 or 3 more down on my list.
I'm going to go heat up a piece of pizza.
What? In the middle of the draft?
This guy.
This guy always likes leaving. Okay, I'm going to take the next one on my board, which is Red Robin. Yum.
Ooh, good one.
In high school, we went to Calvert Hall. There is a Red Robin right across the street from Calvert Hall, and I went there so much. I haven't been to one in a long time, but I remember their burgers being amazing. Brooks, you get 2 in a row.
Give me Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory was probably going to be my next pick. That's really, really good answer, and don't know if I regret taking Red Robin over it. I don't think so. I don't think I do.
Give me PF Chang's.
P.F. Chang's is also going to be a pick that I was going to take here soon. That's a really good answer. I love P.F. Chang's.
What went off the board other than P.F. Chang's?
I took Red Robin. Brooks took Cheesecake Factory and P.F. Chang's. Okay, so we're getting into it now. I don't have any food of the Asian persuasion here yet, and I'm going to take my favorite Benihana, and I'm going to take Sakura. Chicken teriyaki with the yum yum sauce. Fucking, I would eat all.
Is that a
right
sit
now.
down?
Yeah, dude, you're sitting down and watching. It's a Benihana. You sit down and watch the guy chop onions and make volcanoes in front of
I
you.
thought Sakura was like the fast food one.
No, that's Sarku. That's the one in Towson Town Center.
Yeah, you're right.
Go house sometime, dude.
All right, Brian, you get 2 in a row to finish your draft here.
I'm going.
You also could have went with just Benihana. That's a chain.
I've never been to it, so I picked the one I've been to.
I've never been to one either, so I agree with you, Dusty. Yeah. I'm going Hooters.
Wow, that was not on my list, and I forgot, honestly.
And I'm going to go a second breakfast joint. I'm going Waffle House.
Wow. It's 2 breakfast joints and no Denny's yet. I'm thinking about it.
And no IHOP.
I'm definitely not thinking about that. Okay, so do I go local or do I not? Here's my question. Because I work for a chain, but I don't work at a chain location. I could also go with the wildly underrated Bill Bateman's, which is no longer with us.
No, they go.
Where do I go here? Do I want to go local? I don't think I'll go local. I'm gonna keep it. Give me Denny's. Fuck it. Taking Denny's. I had a couple of restaurants higher, but I'm going with Denny's. I need a breakfast place.
Yeah, I need an Italian place, and I'm stuck between 2. But I had this recently, and it was way better than I thought. It was way better than Olive Garden, actually, which was
there are 2 that are amazing,
which surprised me. So Maggiano's.
Well done.
Never heard of it. I thought you were gonna.
They're basically they're near like every
Robin's.
mall. They're near a ton of malls, basically.
They're usually a self-standing establishment next
outside
to
of a mall. Yeah.
Huh.
Delicious.
Yeah, the local ones I was thinking of were Looney's, Green Turtle, Bill Bateman's. Didn't go with any of those, obviously.
I was in between Maggiano's and Carrabba's.
So
Carrabba's is one I've heard of.
This is why Brooks and I are so close to each other, because those are my 2 joints.
So from those are my 2 Italian ones left. Olive Garden probably would have been my number 1 because that's most well known, and like the breadsticks, obviously. But like I said, I had Maggiano's recently, and it blew Olive Garden out of the water, to be honest with you. And maybe it's just too. That's awesome.
That's a really funny comment.
One that we did forget. Oh man,
I almost spit my pizza out.
that was a good one.
Yeah, no TGI Fridays love, no Applebee's love.
So I was in when I picked.
Don't you dare with Applebee's, Dustin.
I
Don't
hate
you dare.
Applebee's.
When I
Applebee's
picked,
fucking sucks. It's the Burger King of this.
Yeah, Chili's is much better.
Ruby Tuesdays.
Ooh, salad bar.
Oh,
like
salad bar,
dude.
Ruby Tuesdays.
Salad bar, man.
Harley Station Mall, dude.
Shoot, where was it? I was just looking at one that I was thinking about taking. Well, you took Hooters, so I started thinking about Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, yeah.
Tilted Kilt?
Is that even around anymore? Are they around?
Exist?
Probably. Ooh, Hard Rock Cafe. When's the last time you went to one of those?
It's been a long time.
We went to one of those in Arizona. Remember, it was right across from the stadium.
Remember that was the big thing. You get the shirt. It said like where you were, like Hard Rock Orlando, Hard Rock wherever.
Like Ron John's. The Ron John's was you always wanted to get
Cocoa
those
Beach
everywhere. Cocoa Beach Ron John's. Cooper's Hawk. Oh man, that's a big miss.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
That's actually a really good place to go.
Was that Midwest?
A little fancier though.
No,
I like.
There's one in Annapolis. There's 2 in Annapolis. No, there's only 1.
I like that. I like that. We talked about it, but I'm okay with it not being included. Papa's we could have used.
What about
Papa-
Stony River? Is Stony River Steakhouse
Yeah,
chain?
yeah. That would have been. But I would have
Portillo's?
given you that. Oh, Bonefish Grill.
Bonefish Grill. Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of good ones. I mean, a lot of ones we didn't go to, but obviously, that
Like
is
Pete-
our chain restaurant snake draft.
Or
At
Bar
some point,
Louie.
we're
Bar
going to do
Louie.
fast food. We're going to do fast food and fast casual as well. So keep your eye out for that. Maybe we'll just do those in the next 2 weeks. We'll see.
Do that in minor league hats, minor league logos.
That was fun. Anyway, yeah, minor league hats and minor league logos. We got a lot of drafts that we can do. No macaroni grill love, by the way.
Not my
Golden
favorite.
Corral.
Is that sit down? I mean, that's
It's
a
buffet, right?
The buffet.
yeah.
And also, how many guns have you seen brandished at a Golden Corral? Oh, next
I
to the
mean-
fecal fountain.
I honestly kind of wish I would have taken Double T Diner instead of Denny's or Glory Days. Nobody said Glory Days.
Glory days.
Oh, Glory Days was amazing. Anyway, we've been doing this for a while. Y'all from the Phoenix area? No, we're not from the Phoenix area. We are from Baltimore, Pasadena, and Dundalk, respectively. So, yeah. By the way, Dave Portnoy's been doing a Baltimore pizza tour and doing Pizza John's and a bunch of places that I used to go to, which has been really fun to watch.
What did he rank Pizza John's? That's my favorite pizza in Baltimore.
I think he gave Pizza John's like a 7.4. He said it was too cheesy for him.
I
He
think
liked that place Frank's. He liked a lot.
Frank's was his highest, and I think Matthews was pretty high.
Yeah, Matthews he liked. Anyway,
He likes New York style.
he likes not as
No
cheesy.
flop. No flop.
Yeah, no flop. Okay, so before we get into our NFL wildcard picks, Brian and I made NFL All-Pro teams for this year. I don't know if Brooks did, but we're going to go through those real quick and just highlight some of the players that we thought did a really good job this year. Brian, this was your idea, so let's let you go first here. And if I have any arguments or we can have a conversation about our 2 teams or however you want to do it.
Why don't we go one-on-one? So, for example, I'll give my quarterback, you give your quarterback, and then we can talk. Right?
Yeah.
So I'll start. I'm just going to go offense first. Going to go quarterback. My quarterback, my All-Pro quarterback, is actually Joe Burrow.
Wow. I would have had 2 in front of him, Lamar and Josh Allen. I have Lamar.
Okay.
I think the argument is for those 3 guys. I would have had Allen first because he's almost certainly going to win MVP before Burrow. But I think Lamar's had the best season, so I'm taking him first. Why Joe Burrow?
I took Joe Burrow because I think he's had the best season. Now, he does have 2 stud wide receivers. I totally understand that, but that's the same argument you can make against Lamar.
Yeah.
But I believe Joe Burrow is not being given the credit that he is due because of the product of his team, not because of what Joe Burrow did as an individual. So that's why I went with Joe Burrow as my All-Pro quarterback.
Fair enough. And Brooks,
and no one's losing with any of these 3 picks.
Brooks, you can listen to the conversation. You don't have to make a team and just say who do you agree with, who do you not agree with, whatever. We'll go to running back. I have Saquon Barkley. I think this is close case.
Yeah, it's a close case.
Yeah, the only other guy you can mention is Derrick Henry, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs, but it's Saquon Barkley, and it's not close. Let's move on. I have 3 receivers. How many do you have?
I have 2. I have 2. I'm going to go my first receiver, and that is Jamar Chase.
Okay. I think that's cut and dried as well. He won the Triple Crown, which I don't think has been done 5 times in NFL history, which is most receptions, yards, and touchdowns by the same player. I also have Jamar Chase. He was my 1-1 for receiver. Who's your 2?
My number 2 is Justin Jefferson.
My number 2 is also Justin Jefferson. I had to argue for my 3rd one. I didn't argue. I went back and forth on Scary Terry and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I ended up settling on Scary Terry just because he pulled the load for that offense for so much of the season by himself. I mean, hardly anybody could probably name another receiver on that Redskins team. Sorry, Commanders team, racist. Other than Scary Terry, and the way he helped Jaden Daniels develop in his rookie year, I think he deserves at least a nod here.
I would agree.
So Chase and Jefferson are definitely top 2 guys. I don't think there's any argument.
Why don't you go ahead and give your tight end, Bob?
My tight end, I was between Brock Bowers and George Kittle. I give a slight edge to Brock Bowers because the team was terrible, the quarterback was terrible, and he was asked to do so much as a rookie.
We had the exact same mentality. I ended up going with Kittle.
You went with Kittle,
I
and
went
I
with
think
Kittle.
that's fair.
And
Brooks,
it's once again 1A, 1B.
do you have any thoughts thus far on any of these, or do you pretty much agree?
No, I'm kind of looking up how the NFL Pro Team is picked and all that, so I'm trying to get a little sense of that as well.
Offensive line is going to be a little bit more like I don't know. It's more opinion based because there's not as many stats, I guess.
So the All Pro Team is picked solely by the players.
No.
That's what it says right here.
No, because
I think there's several different All Pro teams. I think the NFLPA All Pro team is picked by the players.
Okay,
right?
That's what. That's what.
Because
it is,
Tone Diggs on McAfee's show he had to put in his All Pro team yesterday by 5 o'clock. So and he
has an All Pro.
Well, I think they offered to McAfee.
They just gave it to the show, basically.
Yeah, I'm not trying to disparage the guy at all. It's just what a world that we live in.
But so I went with my left tackle I went with Rashawn Slater. All my offensive line stuff, I actually looked at Pro Football Focus to see, because it's hard to judge an offensive lineman on any kind of statistic. So they grade like movements, they grade, availability, like the whole shebang. So I went with Rashawn Slater as my left tackle choice.
I have two tackles, and they're both right tackles.
Okay.
And I'm not going to apologize for it because it's my list.
We're fine.
Penei Sewell, I think he's the best offensive lineman in the league. I think it's a no-brainer. And Joe Alt. They're both right tackles. Don't care if Joe Alt's a rookie. That guy's a fucking stud.
He's a beast.
And I like Slater as well. So who's your other tackle? Who's your right tackle?
My right tackle is Lane Johnson because fights through pain. I think he had a hernia 2 years ago and fought through it all the way through the Super Bowl, or maybe that was. When did the Eagles go to the Super Bowl? Last year?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
He fought through a hernia. And that obviously this is a this season award, but the guy's a dog. He's there. He always posts. So I'm taking Lane Johnson, and also he's still at the top of his game, even at an advanced stage.
Yeah, he's like in his 14th season, still one of the best right tackles in the league. I'm not going to argue with you there at all. For the guards, I had Joe Thuney and Quinn Miners. Quinn Miners plays for the Broncos. Those are the two guys that were pretty much on every list that I read, and I'm sure you can mention a couple other guys too. But those are the two.
You took Thuney. I went against Miners. I went with Quentin Nelson from the Colts.
Yeah, that's fair. I took Tyler Linderbaum over Creed Humphrey. I think a lot of people would take Creed Humphrey over Tyler Linderbaum. It's really just a point of preference, and I'm a Ravens fan, so I took Tyler Linderbaum.
I took win rate as my biggest statistic from Pro Football Focus, and that was Frank Ragnow.
Wow. Okay, for the Lions.
Yeah,
he's a great player. I'm not going to argue with you there.
Yeah, he had a great win rate, run win rate. So, and they run the ball with Jameer and Dave Montgomery.
Yeah. Defense is going to be a little bit tougher. Edge rushers specifically, because there's a lot of guys that you could say belong here.
I have two what are called ouch picks, and if you're listening, I'm doing air quotes because there are two people I left off that need to be on this All Pro team, but there's not enough space.
Okay, who do you got?
Start. Where do you want to start? What position?
Let's go edge rusher, D tackle, and then linebacker, corner, safety.
All right, my two edge rushers were Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
Is it Trey Hendricks? Trey Hendrickson.
It's Hendrickson.
And that's one of my ouch picks is T.J. Watt. Unfortunately, has to get left off this roster.
I don't have T.J. Watt either. Myles Garrett is actually my first alternate here. I'm going with more like outside linebacker types, but still very productive. I'm going with Nick Bonito of the Denver Broncos. That guy popped every time I watched them play. And I'm going with Andrew Van Ginkel of the Minnesota Vikings, who housed an interception, which he has a tendency to do, and also added like 12 or 13 sacks this year.
He housed two. He housed two of them in back-to-back games, I believe.
Yeah. That guy's unbelievable. There's a lot of guys. You could take Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Daniil Hunter's having a nice year. Jonathan Grenard's having a really nice year. But I took Van Ginkel and Bonito. D-tackle. Do you have two or one?
You got it. I have two, and you go ahead first.
I've got Chris Jones. I got Chris Jones and Jalen Carter of the Philadelphia Eagles. I also had Cam Hayward as an alternate. I love that guy, but I think I have to take Chris Jones and I have to take Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was probably the number one for me.
Yeah, Chris Jones was my number one.
Yeah.
Came Hayward was my number two.
Yeah.
Jordan and Davis was my number three.
Jordan Davis over Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh,
Max Crosby, can't
Austin.
forget about him. He did get hurt though. He didn't
That's
play the
that's
last
the only thing. Yeah.
3 or 4 games of the year. I don't think.
And the reason I didn't take TJ Watt is because he got hurt for
Yep.
2 games and he didn't have the same pop. So kind of going off what you're saying there, Dusty, and Austin, great call by the way. Austin, phenomenal call.
Linebackers, I have Zach Bond and Roquan Smith. Who do you have?
Wow. We completely disagree on this one. I had Zach Baum as my ouch pick, my left off the roster. I have Fred Warner.
Okay. I mean, he's great.
And I have Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell from the Detroit Lions. Kind of did a little bit of everything. His numbers.
Another rookie.
No,
second year.
Second year.
Yeah. What? By the way, look back
class.
at the draft. Look back at that draft class. We've already talked about it. Look back. This is why draft grades, when they come out after the draft, mean absolutely fucking nothing. And I'm using the word fucking for real because a ton of Fs were given to the Detroit Lions. And guess what they ended up having? 3 of the best picks in the damn draft in Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, and Sam Laporta. Oh, and just a heads up, they got Brian Branch. No big deal.
Yeah, and their draft the season before was their first 2 picks were Jamison Williams and Aiden Hutchinson. Also very good players.
Yeah.
But yeah, their top 4 picks, if you don't remember, in the 2023 draft were Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. That's a pretty good draft.
And people were giving them Fs. They were giving them Fs for their draft.
Yeah.
And look who's stupid now.
Yeah, Zach Bond was an edge rusher, I believe, at Wisconsin, and he got converted by the Eagles to an off-ball linebacker, and he's been excellent for them this season. And one other guy, if you watch Eagles games, you're just going to hear that guy's name like 15 times.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Corners, I have 3. How many? You have 2, I assume.
I have 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Surtain and Humphrey, I think, have to be there. And as my first alternate or my third guy, I have Derek Stingley from the Texans. That guy's amazing.
I had Stingley and Patrick Surtain.
Okay, cool. Honestly, I talked a lot of shit about Marlon Humphrey this year, but I don't think we would have won nearly as many games if it wasn't for that guy. He came up huge for us this year. And for safeties, I have Kirby Joseph and Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton all day.
Do you have just one?
Yeah, just one. I like Kyle Hamilton more over Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph's going to get the number, or probably get the first team All-Pro because he had 9 picks. But he had, I think, 2 or 3 in one game against some shitbox quarterback, which it's totally fine. He's doing his job. I think Kyle Hamilton impacts the game in a much different way than Creed Humphrey because he can also come down into the box and start making tackles.
Creed Humphrey's a center.
Whatever the hell. Yeah.
Anyway, those are our all-pro teams. Brooks, did you have anybody that you wanted to mention that had good years that stood out to you?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up AQ Shipley did his trenchies is what he calls it.
Mm-hmm.
So his best guard of the year was Trey Smith for the Chiefs. His best center of the year was Frank Ragnow.
Okay.
And his best tackle of the year was Lane Johnson.
Well, look, all 3 of those guys were mentioned on our list here.
Yep.
So,
and D-Butt did his I think he said 4 or 5 secondary guys. Can you pull that up, Brooksy?
Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
They were talking about it yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to watch the full show. And by the way, Austin, you're not kidding, man. To think that Kyle Van Noy, KVN, was sitting on his couch and we pulled him off the couch, and now look at him.
Yeah.
He might be the next coach of the Raiders.
It's crazy. He might be the next coach of the Raiders. By the way, we didn't talk about that. Antonio Pierce got canned after we did our little all the coaches got fired. The Ravens, I don't know if you guys follow Ravens Realm on Twitter, but they're pretty funny. They posted a picture of Michael Pierce at practice today, and the caption just says CB1. That made me crack up. Anyway, yeah, let's get into. So that's our All-Pro teams. It sucks not having Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry. Like, there's so many guys that had great seasons here that aren't going to get recognized just because the talent in the league is so awesome. Falcons.
What you got?
Falcons. Fontenot says we're comfortable moving forward with Kirk Cousins as our backup. So maybe they will not move off of him this offseason. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows what's going to go on there? There's a lot of stuff. But we have to talk about these games this weekend. It is NFL Wild Card weekend. It is one of the most fun, if not the most fun weekends of the year. If you're a really, really big football fan, probably next weekend because all the best teams in the league will be playing against one another. But these are the two of the best weekends. First game is the Houston Texans obligatory Saturday 4:30 game. Which just happens to be the Texans playing on a Saturday afternoon, which is what they always do. The Chargers are favored by 3 in Houston. I think that line makes sense. Do you guys think that line makes sense or no? Do you think Houston should be favored over the Chargers because they're at home or no?
No, not at all. Not the way they've been playing.
I can't argue with you there. Honestly, they've been pretty fucking bad. What do we like in this game? What's a matchup that we're interested in? I like that the two tackles, Slater and Alt, are going to be matching up against Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. I think that's going to be a huge matchup in this game. I don't think that Joe Mixon's going to be able to run against this tough Chargers defense very well. I don't know. What do we think about this game? Who do we like? What's the matchups? Do we like a high-scoring game? Brian, let's go to you first. We'll do a little bit more analysis on these games because they're playoff games, obviously, than we normally do when we're playing games.
I really like the Texans in this game, and I don't know why exactly, other than 2 things that are very minuscule. I love Derek Stingley, and I like Will Anderson, and I think they're going to move Will Anderson around and get him away from Rashawn Slater, so that way he can get some sort of rush.
Well, it's Slater or Alt. I mean, you're picking your poison.
Maybe they bring him up the middle then, for all I know. But I like the 2 skill guys on defense for the Texans more than I like any skill guy on the defense for the Chargers. And I love Derwin James.
Well, I was going to say, when we were talking about Darius's picks, Derwin James was in his top 4 or 5 of best DBs this year.
Who else did he have, by the way, before we move off?
He had Stingley, Surtain, Derwin James,
Xavier McKinney, Kirby Joseph, Marlon Humphrey, any of those guys?
He had
Quinyon Mitchell.
He had Humphrey, and he had Joseph. I
mean, that makes sense. Those were the guys.
So, Quinyon Mitchell, by the way. But can I just, speaking of drafts, what Howie Roseman and those guys do with the Eagles is so ridiculous. I mean, getting a Jordan Davis, getting a Jalen Carter, where they got them, then getting a Keon Mitchell with
Quinyon Mitchell,
Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Yep. I mean, come on, shit just falls to them. Good Lord,
yeah,
man.
I totally agree with you. Well, I think if you would have told me last year that the pass rushing duo of Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter would be, I'd have a lot more confidence in them than I do the pass rushing duo of Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. I would have told you were crazy, but that's kind of what I believe at this point. I don't trust either of those guys to stay healthy. Obviously, this is a 1-game sample size here. I don't really know what to expect from this. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring affair. Do you guys think that this is going to be more of an offensive show, or this is going to be more of a? I think Jim Harbaugh is going to try to establish a run early, and if they're able to, then they're going to control the game.
Jim Harbaugh, I don't think will let this become a high scoring affair. It's just not his style, especially this year. I think he kind of knows the team that he has. So I think the Chargers win and cover. I really do. But I do not think this is going to be a high scoring affair at all.
Yeah. The line on this game, by the way, the over under on this game sorry, I went past it. It's 42.5. So expecting it to be a lower scoring game, I would say. Brian, you think this is a high scoring affair, low scoring affair? Who you got?
Low scoring affair, big time.
Okay.
And also, I think there's going to be nerves associated with this game as well. So I'm going low scoring affair. And I really like the Texans in this game. And I think I like them to win straight up.
Fair enough. I think that's, yeah. So if you like that Texans money line, it's actually, by the way, it's 2.5 now. It's not 3. But some lines it's going to be 3. It's going to flip flop, I would imagine. If you like the Texans money line, like Brian, that's a plus 136 money line, and you can put that with, I don't know, Ravens money line, Bills money line, Eagles money line. Try to make a little parlay out of that, and probably get plus 200 odds. So if you like Houston, like Brian, take that money line, or just take them up to the 3 and don't play with it. Brooks and I are both on the Chargers. It seems like Brooks, you picking the Chargers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right, 2 of us on the Chargers and 1 on Houston.
Who would you take in a fight, D'Amico Ryans or Jim Harbaugh?
D'Amico Ryans.
I mean,
destroy him.
Jim seems like he's aging relatively quickly just by looking at him with his hard stuff.
Is it the khakis?
No, is it the for he's a jolly good fellow that they sing after everyone? Which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Look, I'm taking a man wearing Dockers in a fight any day of the week.
I mean, I think he's scrappy, don't get me wrong, but yeah, D'Amico's still yoked.
Taking the guy who wishes he would have gotten stuck in the elevator with Justin Herbert earlier in the year. Anyway, the line just went back to 3.
You always pick a P corner when you get stuck in an elevator.
Line just went back to 3. Next game of the day, Saturday, 8:00 at night. We're all going to have eyes on this one. It is Ravens Steelers 3.0 this season. Ravens are hosting the Steelers. They are 9.5-point favorites. The last time we played the Steelers, it was 34-17 win. What do we have on this game, Brian? You sound like you got something to say.
No, I do. I want to bring something to our loyal guys, like to Joe and to British Raven. If you're still watching or listening, if you can chime in and give a score to what you think the game will be. I'm taking the Ravens in this game, and if anybody wants to call in, or Brooks, you have the con on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do call-ins after we do our picks.
Okay, then let them give scores at that point if they want.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I'm taking the Ravens, but I'm taking the Ravens 27-21.
Okay. Pickdown says Ravens by 20. Pickdown also says 34-14. British
34-14.
Raven says 9-6.
He's been all about his low scores lately.
Austin said he'd take the Steelers on the money line. Honestly, Austin, I don't hate it. It's plus 370. I don't think these odds are outrageous. And I'm burying the lead here. And we'll talk more about this game right now, but I'm just going to go out and say it. I'm taking the Steelers plus 9.5. I think this line is outrageously high. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we come out and we dominate.
So I guess I'm taking the Steelers as well. I'm taking
it's just too high. So you're taking the Steelers as well.
Yeah, taking the Steelers as well, but I think it's 27-21 Ravens.
Last time we did this, it ended up pretty well. So give me Pittsburgh as well to cover. And honestly, I was texting some of my Steelers friends here before the show. Hopefully they'll be able to call in. But I hope I'm wrong here. But man, this feels like this could be a huge upset game. That's really gonna crash and burn us.
Pigtown says if it's 9-6, we're losing that game. Honestly, I tend to agree with you there, Pigtown. Yeah. I can't give up on the game. 6-9. Yeah, you're killing it today, British Raven.
Nick, you are a man. You are a fucking man.
So Zay Flowers has not practiced yet this week. Do we expect to see him on Saturday? You think he'll try to gut through it? And if so, in what kind of capacity do you think he'll be able to play? Brian, you've got your hand up. What do you got?
So I already read the reports. It says long shot to play. So I don't expect to see him. Now I have a question for the group and for anyone out there listening or watching. Do we think that we move Justice Hill into the slot as a receiver and then bring in Keon Mitchell as the backup to Justice Hill?
Well, the question is Aguilar healthy? Is Justice Hill healthy? He still hasn't been healthy yet.
I'm getting the Ravens injury report right now.
Okay. Because You obviously in the slot, you usually want the quick, small guy to rock and roll. So I thought Justice Hill might fit that because he catches the balls out of the backfield. So does Mitchell.
So Justice Hill was limited Tuesday, full participant yesterday, as was Kyle Hamilton. So he's good to go. Zay Flowers has not participated in practice, and Nelson Aguilar is not even on the injury report, so he is good to go as well.
Sweet.
So Bateman,
that's good news.
No, my answer is no to your question. I think you keep Justice Hill in that perfect third down running back role, which he's been great at all year. If you want to use him a little bit more in the passing game, I don't hate it, but I think it's just next man up. I think you see a little bit more Aguilar in the slot. And honestly, who is our number 3 receiver? Is it Tez Walker, or is it just going to be more Isaiah Likely, more Mark Andrews, more 12 personnel, as they say?
Why go away from what was already been working?
Yeah.
What I do not want to see is last year we got away from the run. What I don't want to see is do not get away from what got you to this point.
Yeah.
Keep doing exactly what you were freaking doing.
Yeah.
Give Derrick Henry the ball X amount of times, whatever it was.
Yeah, remember the last Pittsburgh game?
I remember it, but I remember the numbers.
Keep the ball, control the clock. If Lamar and Derrick Henry don't have 25 plus rushing attempts between the two of them in every single game in this playoff run, then we have made another mistake. This is easy. This is what we do. This is our bread and butter. Our offensive line pushes guys around. They've been doing a great job of it as of late, especially. And Lamar and Derrick Henry are 2 of the top 10 most electric dudes in the NFL with the football in their hands.
Yeah.
Keep it in the hands of your best players and just let them.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Do exactly what you've been doing.
Big Town, I think this is what should happen, but
this would be awesome.
We've been hurt too many times.
Look, man, it's freaking. It's a Charlie Kolar kind of game. He broke his forearm. By the way, that dude broke his forearm in the last game. He's going to be playing through it. By the way,
Derrick Henry broke his forearm.
I know. It's crazy.
He broke it in what week? He broke it in the middle of the week or middle of the season.
Yeah. If you look at the Steelers injury report, it's a ton. Cam Hayward has not practiced this week. He is sick, I guess. He has an illness. Chris Boswell has not practiced this week. He is also sick, has an illness. I guess there's something going around in Pittsburgh.
Oh, no. Hopefully they got what I had.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't wear white pants.
Don't do that.
Brandon Stevens is going to get Pickens ejected. I hope that Brandon Stevens doesn't get absolutely cooked down the sideline 3 times in this game, although I have a real bad feeling that he might.
Well, he doesn't get cooked. He's good. He's good in terms of like separation. It's just playing the ball in the air is a little different story.
Anyway, all 3 of us are taking Pittsburgh plus the 9.5. We just think this line's too high. All of us are rooting. Joe Racky says Pat Ricard Tutty. I love
that. Do we all put I'll Venmo money right now to the group.
I'll put a little anytime Pat
Ricard. Let's do it. I like that.
I'll literally do it right now.
I could see even a little flip out to like a play action flip out to Ricard like we did last week or 2 weeks ago. Pancake Pat
20-1 to score a touchdown at any point. 65-1 to score the first touchdown.
Let's all put $10 in. $10 in.
180-1 to score 2+ touchdowns.
Well, that's not happening.
Let's
call it spade. If it does, I'll physically walk a hat to Joe Radke.
Charlie Kolar, by the way, 11-1 to score a touchdown. That might not be a bad little dart throw there either. Anyway, I want a lot of Derrick Henry. Earlier in this game, I want to take shots down the field early in this game. I want to take control of the scoreboard early in this game and just not look back. Obviously, that's what you want in every game. They have really struggled on offense. They've lost 4 or 5 games straight. I think the Steelers have.
Let me pull up the. I asked for some opinions from my Steelers friends, and this is what they sent me. Let me actually.
Quick question, Dusty. Did you put $30 down? $10 from all of us?
I did not, but that's what I will do right now.
Put it in. I'll Venmo you $10. We all do. Yeah, we all do. Just a
30 to win 600.
Let's
go Pancake Pat. We're gonna go crazy.
That's an anytime, right?
Anytime Tutter. Baltimore Ravens defense 4-1 to score a touchdown. By the way, I'm interested in that. We've been kind of doing some good stuff with the takeaways. Anyway, that has been our take on Ravens Steelers. Let's go. We have the best quarterback in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. You want my opinion? Tomlin's a moron.
That's what I got sent from my Steelers friends.
Nice. That's good. Guys, think of the Ravens' biggest game over the past 2 decades. They always lean towards a fullback touchdown. Hey, I like that. 20-1.
Right,
he is in with us. Big pancake Pat getting in the end zone, baby.
Oh yeah, Tyler. Austin, thanks, man. Thanks for getting in, dude. I love it.
Hell yeah. Brandon just gets beat and by a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, good quarterback. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we do play a lot of really good quarterbacks. I mean, we play some bad quarterbacks too. We got to play Bailey Zappi last week. Billy Zapka. Anyway, let's move on to Sunday. Sunday's first matchup is the Buffalo Williams versus the Denver Broncos. The Buffalo Bills will be hosting this game. I would imagine it is going to be cold as shit in Buffalo because it's going to be cold as shit in Baltimore. I know that for sure.
Oh, one more thing for the Baltimore game. It's supposed to be like possibly a snowstorm, right?
Let me check here, buddy.
It's potential snow. Yeah, that's for sure.
I saw and this was like 3 days ago, and there's plenty of time. But somebody was like, "There's a potential for like a 10-inch snowstorm coming that day."
Now they're calling it 25 and sunny.
All right, so
sorry, let me repeat that. 38 is the high. So I'm going with the low, and that's 25.
How much
chance of precip is near 0. Wind is 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Oh, that's nothing. Oh, they're going to be fine in Baltimore on Saturday. It's going to be 35 and sunny.
All right, we're good.
It's going to be cold either way. First game of Sunday, Bills, Broncos. 8.5 is the line. This line opened closer to 10. It's 8.5 now, I think. What do we think about this? Do we think this is the appropriate line? And who do we like in the game? What do we like matchup-wise here?
I'm letting Joe pick this game for me, but I like the Broncos in this game. I do not know why. I just like the Broncos. The Bills have a tendency to buckle, and I love Surtain against their number one receiver, which means they're going to have to lean on Josh Allen to run. And I have a weird feeling, and I hope it doesn't occur. I really hope it doesn't occur when Josh Allen gets hurt. I really do. I'm being a prognosticator.
I really hope it does not happen.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Players in the league to watch.
I don't want anyone to get hurt ever.
I don't want to watch Mitch Trubisky play football.
I know, but I don't. They're going to take with Surtain on his number one wide receiver, whoever the hell that may be nowadays. There's no way in hell they're going to have to lean on James Wood James Cook, and they're going to have Josh Allen run, and he's going to get popped by somebody.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Austin and Joe Rad. I could see this a sneaky Broncos upset.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take Denver as well, Brooks?
I think so. I have to, obviously, but I mean, I think they at least cover. I think they might upset them just with the way their defense is playing in cold weather. I mean, I know
this isn't the Dolphins.
Yeah,
this isn't the Dolphins coming to town.
Yeah,
the Buccaneers aren't coming to town. This is legit another cold weather team who knows how to play. And I know, look, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Denver, but that altitude shit is real. So they actually the Denver Broncos pick up steam when they go outside of the altitude.
They're playing in Buffalo, right? Though
I know, but that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
They pick up steam so I'm taking the Broncos all day.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate, which is something I didn't think I was going to have to say with this game. I think Buffalo is going to fucking massacre them. I think it's going to be 30 points. I don't think it's going to be close. You're giving me Josh Allen versus Bo Nix in the playoffs? Give me a fucking break, dude. Josh Allen's going to beat the brakes off of this Denver defense.
Hey, you are on an apology tour right now?
All right.
This on an apology tour, and it's over. Josh Allen versus Bo Nix first round book.
This has a bet written all over it.
This is exactly where I'm going. Exactly where I'm going, Brooks.
Sure.
You have to get a Bo Nix. You have to get a Bo Nix fucking jersey shirt. And you have to wear it. And you have to wear it for the duration of the playoffs. The duration of the playoffs. On this podcast.
If what?
If the Broncos beat
Broncos
the
win.
Bills, you had to get a Bo Nix shirt.
Fine. What do I get when they get killed by 30? It's going to be a massacre in Buffalo.
Well, we can use the money we win from Patrick Ricard's touchdown, and we can buy you a Bo Nix. We can buy you a Bo Nix jersey, and you have to wear it every day. And
That's
we want
fine.
we want the orange one.
I'll get it framed. Bo Nix is not beating Josh Allen. The Bills are not losing in the first round of the playoffs this year. I do not think the Bills are that great of a team outside of Josh Allen, but I do think he is that special that he is going to destroy this team. I think they're going to put up 35 points, and I just don't think Denver's going to be able to hang with them.
He's so special.
You are. I cannot wait to see you in orange. You look terrible in orange.
I'm an Oriole fan. I hope I don't look terrible in orange.
Man,
okay. I mean, look, that's you guys think what you want. I think they're gonna fucking kill me.
All right, is this a handshake agreement that you
Absolutely
get a bonus?
Yeah, right. I don't know what I get, but whatever.
I mean,
you guys
this
have
is such
shotgun a beer on.
Whoa! You don't get shit because we're giving up 8.5 points. We're doing money line.
So we're doing the spread or just the money line?
No, money line.
Okay, and if the Bills win by 20 plus, then you guys have to shotgun a beer on stream.
Sure.
I say three touchdowns, 21 plus. Make it 21 plus.
Okay, if they win by 21 plus, sure, fine.
Christ, I'll shotgun whenever you want.
Yeah, no shit. I'll shotgun right now if I want to, but I mean, you
Don't
have to wear the Bo Nix. Money now, but you have to wear the Bo Nix jersey or jersey shirt on the podcast for the duration of the playoffs on the podcast.
It's fine. I'm not going to have to.
Even if the Ravens go to the Super Bowl, you have to wear a Bo Nix jersey, which would be amazing.
That's fine. I don't care because it's not going to happen. Anyway, let's move on from this game. You guys know how we feel. They're on Denver. I'm on Buffalo. I'm riding solo. And I've been really good at picking this year. So just follow me.
Hey, we do need you need to go back and actually count the final results because we did have a bet on that at some point.
You're right, I do. But I haven't yet, so I don't. Okay. Big question in this next game is Jalen Hurts healthy?
Maybe Dusty gets a Bo Nix tattooed on his ass.
I'm not getting a Bo Nix tattoo. That's where we draw the line. My first tattoo will not be Bo Nix related. I guarantee that. Anyway, next game, we don't really know about the health of Jalen Hurts, but we all assume he's going to be playing in this game. It is Eagles -4.5 hosting the Packers. We also have a little bit of injury stuff with Jordan Love getting hurt and not playing basically the entirety of the second half in the Green Bay game on Sunday. What do we like in this game? Jair Alexander is out for the playoffs unless they make a Super Bowl run, that being the Packers. So that's one of the best corners in the league, just not on your team. That hurts, obviously.
I mean, he hasn't been on that team in 2 years.
Jair Alexander? He's been hurt a lot.
He's been hurt a lot the last 2 years.
He's been hurt a lot. That's true. Christian Watson tears his ACL. That sucks. I think that he really makes a difference stretching the field for the Packers. So I think that's going to be a big loss for them. Although I do trust Matt LaFleur as a coach. He's a good schemer of offense, but it's going to be really tough for them. When Jacobs isn't able to get it going on the ground, Green Bay really struggles on offense. And I think that's when Love has some of his worst games. And I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball very effectively against Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and this awesome defensive front for the Philadelphia Eagles. So where do you guys see this going? Obviously, you can tell where I'm leaning. Brooks, what do you see? High score, low score? Who do you like? Eagles, Packers?
This is tough just with not knowing if Jalen Hurts is going to play or not.
He's going to play.
I mean, I was listening to Schefter yesterday, and he still doesn't know.
Well, he practiced. I think he practiced yesterday. He practiced today.
Oh, did he? Do we know that?
Did someone look it up, please? I read that on the ticker.
Here, let me look it up.
That he was expected as a full participant in practice. Now,
regardless, I don't care who's starting at quarterback. I think the Eagles cover 4.5. I mean, and one of the big things is like we were talking about, Saquon's still running the ball. They didn't look like a terrible team with Kenny Pickett back there, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Eagles win. I think they win easily. I think they easily cover 4.5.
I agree.
Yeah, this is going to be a team ride. I think Philly kills the Packers too. I think
even with Kenny Pickett.
I don't think Kenny Pickett is playing. I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts. He was limited yesterday at practice, so he is back practicing. I think it's going to be a steady dose of Saquon Barkley, which is going to be tough because I think this Packers defensive front is pretty decent, and they're physical and they've been pretty good against the run this year. But I don't think they're going to be able to stop the best running back in the league in Saquon Barkley. And I just think the Eagles are way more talented. I hate the coach. I hate the team, really. But I just think they're way more talented, and I think they win this game handily. So give me Philly as well.
Without Christian Watson, who isn't a legit number one wide receiver, but he is at least a very, very, very serviceable wide receiver. And Romeo Doubs also is there as well, but a little bit less than Christian Watson. The interior D line of Philly is going to be able to just bum rush Jordan Love. And I don't see any way, shape, or form that the Packers can handle it. So.
I think this is a real opportunity for Jordan Love to just have one of those games where he throws 2 or 3 picks. I just do. I think it really could happen.
And he might throw one to Lane Johnson, who is on the sideline, plays offense for the Eagles.
Tulane Johnson?
Yeah. Tulane Johnson. Ooh, I like that. Nice little
Tulane, the green wave. Is that what
the green wave? Great logo, by the way. Excellent logo. I've never seen a wave have face. Collins. Great campus. Smart.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was limited in practice on Wednesday, and AJ Brown, but that's just resting up some guys.
Okay, we're all on Philly. Sunday night's game is the Fighting Baker Mayfield's -3 at home against the Washington Commies. I don't know. It's a pretty fun quarterback matchup. Really 2 fun offenses this year to watch. And 2 spectacular rookies we're going to see in Jaden Daniels and our guy Bucky Irving. What do we think how do we think this game is going to go? The over-under in this one is 50.5. So Vegas is expecting a little bit higher scoring game in this one. And I think that makes sense. I think both of these defenses have question marks. And I think both of these offenses have been firing on all cylinders. Obviously, Jaden Daniels being one of the best rookie quarterbacks we've ever seen, and that's saying a lot because we saw C.J. Stroud do some amazing stuff last year. What do we like in this game, Brian? Let's let you eat. Brooks, let's go to you first. What do you got?
I think this is a tough one, to be honest with you. Give me the Bucks, I guess. I'm gonna be rooting for the Commanders, but I mean, I just think the Bucks have too much offensively for the Commanders. I'm looking at the Commanders injury stuff right now. Their center was limited in practice; he'll be fine. And Marshawn Lattimore was a full practice participant. Looks like he's gonna play.
He's only played in like maybe 5 quarters with them since he got there. Yeah,
and it was the Saints game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, Jaden Daniels, almost 900 rushing yards this year, was obviously excellent throwing the ball downfield. We talked about Scary Terry when we did the All-Pro stuff, how good he was this season. Honestly, shout out to Zach Ertz, who's had a career resurgence with them this year as well. He's been really good. He's finding the end zone a lot. I like Washington. I think they're a little bit better. I just think they're a little bit better. And I think the line is perfect, so it scares me a lot. But I'm going to take Washington just because I think they're just a smidge better than Tampa. And I wouldn't be surprised if this goes either way. But I do agree with Vegas. I think this game's going to be a shootout, and I'm expecting a lot of points. Brian, what do you got on this one?
I'll take the Orioles in 3. No, give me.
Who's pitching game 3?
Steve
Sugano.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
No, I agree with you, Dusty. Give me the Commanders. The secondary for the Bucks is extremely suspect, and I love Mike. Mike Evans is going to be the best wide receiver on the field, even though I know you took Scary Terry as an All-Pro guy.
Yeah,
but I trust the Commanders' defense a little bit more. So give me the Washington football team.
Yeah, look. I mean, this Washington team has had really, really big struggles with number 1 wideouts this whole year. If you remember in the first game of the season, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both went crazy against them. We were watching that game in the Outer Banks with Mr. Sean Foy for his bachelor party. But It is going to be tough, and I know they lost Godwin earlier this season, but this dude Jalen McMillan has been really, really good for Tampa. I think he scored in 5 straight games. So they have a lot of weapons on offense, and those corners are really going to have they're going to have a tough time with.
Yeah, I agree with Austin here. If it's 40 points or more, it's the Bucks.
I wholeheartedly disagree with Austin. I disagree with both of you.
I mean, I just don't know. I've seen Jaden Daniels score on so many comeback drives in the fourth quarter this year that I just believe in the guy, and I want him to succeed. And maybe I'm picking the Commanders here because I'm rooting for them. I just think they're just a smidge better. I really think this game could go either way. I'm excited for this game. I think this is going to be one of the better ones of the weekend.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is my second favorite game of the weekend.
So you guys are both washed. You guys are both commies.
Yeah, we're commies, and you got Tampa. It seems like. Okay, last game of the week, Monday Night Football. Which once again, I will say this to my dying day: this is complete and utter horseshit that they make playoff teams play Monday Night Football and then come back the next week and have to play on a short week in the playoffs. I do not ever think it is a good idea. Obviously, I know why they do it because of money, but I think it's fucking stupid and I hate it. Anyway, that's my rant. Minnesota is -1.5 going to the LA Rams. What do we think about this game? I think we saw Vikings Rams, I believe, earlier in this season. We saw Vikings Seahawks like weeks ago.
Yeah. We did. Your Wi-Fi is going in and out. I know it's probably wind based. Dusty, it's all good, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and run. I'm gonna go ahead and run with it.
First, that's not how Wi-Fi works.
Well, that's how mine works. Because the cord, when my internet cable that goes into my house is wiggling. At least whatever. I a lot of wind. I know Wi-Fi. Yeah, you know what? It's going to a fucking satellite, you asshats.
Speak your speak. Either way,
speak your speak. This goes to my that's a shame for the week. The wildfires out in California.
Yeah.
Those look fucking apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Those videos, those pictures. Holy shit.
The video out of the side of the plane was the scariest one that I saw.
I have a buddy who lives out there. It's a female. She actually called her mom in front of me. And she said, it's kind of weird to say, I have to look down. I can't even look at the camera. She goes, Mom, I don't know which way to go. Which is fucking terrifying. Yeah. I can't even fucking fathom. She didn't know which direction to run away from her own home that's going to burn.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know which way the wind was going to go. And the fire might come get her.
Yeah,
so
the wind was so bad they couldn't get any kind of air support over there to help with the maintain the fire or anything. It's a complete nightmare.
I mean, I watched the mother begin to sob because there's nothing you can do. It's fucking. I can't even fucking fathom being in that situation. But
movement and cable internet will disrupt connection to the router source IT guy. Thanks, British Raven. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You know what? This is why. This is my man right here. I'm coming to England to hang out with you.
Most populated county in the U.S. Yeah, I actually didn't know that. That's fucking crazy. I mean, it makes sense. I didn't know that. But anyway, let's talk about Rams Vikings.
But anyway, this game
could potentially be moved to Arizona, but they're not sure yet.
They're pretty sure they're going to end up moving it to Arizona if the winds don't die down. But either way, neither here nor there, no more. I will absolutely take the Rams. I enjoy the Rams in this game. I'm taking the veteran quarterback over the unseasoned quarterback in Sam Darnold, even though he's technically a vet at this point.
7 years, dude.
I know. It's unbelievable to think.
Been seeing ghosts for 7 years.
Well, he hasn't seen ghosts a lot this year, but I'm still taking Matt Stafford. I'm taking Puka Nacua. And Kyle Hamilton, he actually came out on the Dan Patrick Show and said the best receiver he's ever faced was actually last year, and it was Puka Nacua.
I mean, it's hard to argue. That guy's a stud. If he didn't miss a lot of games this year, he would have been in that running for that all-pro team. Brooks, what do you like in this game? Are you expecting do you think a lot of people – actually, let's pose this question to both of you first. Do you think a lot of people kind of eased off the Vikings because of that poor performance against the Lions on Sunday night? Do you think line reflects that? Because I think this line would have probably been Vikings by 4 had they been closer in that game.
Easily 4. Yeah.
I don't.
Not only that, and I think it's because they lost to them earlier in the season. The last time, I think they had back-to-back last losses earlier in the season, it was Lions and the Rams as well. And everyone's like, oh, Lions and the Rams again. Here we go. So, and they didn't play very well. Stafford didn't play very well in the red zone. And Aaron Glenn pretty much threw the whole kitchen sink at the guy. I think he.
Darnold didn't play well in the red zone.
Yeah, sorry. Yep, sorry. So yeah, Aaron Glenn threw the whole kitchen sink at the guy. He like threw. I think he blitzed at least 6 people on the most percent out of any team this year or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a game where they come back and start playing like the Vikings again. I think they win by. I think they win this game pretty easily. That's my opinion on it. I think they get back to being how the Vikings have been playing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the reason I posed that question is because it's the reason I like the Vikings so much. I think this line would be closer to 4, and I know, Brian, you disagree, and we'll find out why after I give my piece here. But I think that the Lions beating them as well as they did on Sunday Night Football, I think it turned people off of this team who won 14 games this year. This team has been dominant. They really are really good in the trenches.
In the hardest division in football.
I think they're really good. Yeah, you're right. And I think they're really good in the trenches. I think their offensive line is going to be able to handle the Rams' defensive line, which has been iffy and is really young. Their best player on it is Jared Verse, who's a rookie, and he's probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So good player, but I like the veteran offensive line, and I think the defense is going to be able to get at this Rams team. And the only thing that gives me hesitation here is that Stafford, Puka, Cooper Kupp, and Kyren Williams are basically in the Rams' top guys are coming off a bye for the most part because most of the really important players on the Rams did not play last week. And I think that does give them an advantage because they're just such a good team. I don't think that they're going to have any rust. I think they benefit from the rest more than a lot of other players in the league. But I just think Minnesota is a way better team, and I think their defensive front is going to be all over Stafford. I don't think Stafford's going to have more than 3 seconds to throw the ball on any down in this game. Brian, what do you have?
I kind of agree with you on that one. I still would take Stafford and Sean McVay over Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. I'm going to take the better coach. And
Kevin O'Connell's going to win Coach of the Year, by the way.
I'm aware because they expected nothing from the Vikings this year because that's always how the Coach of the Year wins. Is that you had no expectations and all of a sudden you did well.
They won 14 games.
No shit. I'm telling you, I'm not knocking what he did, but they had no expectations for the Vikings. That's how you win Coach of the Year. You can't tell me Bill Belichick won Coach of the Year 10 motherfucking times and he only won it 3.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
I know I'm not wrong. And I'm taking the better coach and I'm taking the better quarterback. It's as simple as it gets.
Fair enough.
And they've been there. Right. They've been there. Sam Darnold's never played a fucking playoff game. And if he has, it was in his dreams. And Kevin O'Connell has played 1 playoff game, and it worked out real well for him that Kirk Cousins now plays for the fucking Falcons and is a backup. Anyway, right. No big deal.
Fair enough. 2 of us, Brooks and
you know what?
me.
Trade Aaron Rodgers to the
Brothers Rothschild are on Minnesota. Brian is on the Rams, as you can tell.
Oh, maybe this is a bet. Maybe this is another bet.
That's fine. That's fine. You can just call me. I'll wear a daddy T-shirt if you want.
I don't want to bet this because I can see the Rams winning. I don't feel as emphatic about this as I do the Bills. I do think the Bills are going to absolutely destroy Denver. I think this game could go either way, but I do like Minnesota.
Actually, I want one of those what are those? It's called ponchos. I want a Broncos poncho on you the entire time.
Broncos poncho.
Broncho. The Broncho.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Lloyd Braun in here, and he can tell us about it.
And you got to water pick your own teeth right there on camera.
Oh man. Anyway. We have talked a lot today about football, about baseball, about family, about chain restaurants.
Also, I want to get this out before we move away from football. Jerry Jones, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Are you that moronic?
He was really good in that whatever that scene was that he was talking to John Hamm in that hospital bed. That was really
that's from Landman.
Pretty powerful acting.
From Landman, dude, he needs to focus more on that instead of being the GM of the fucking Dallas Cowboys because he really sucks at that.
I think Joe was telling us about Landman. Speaking of Joe, what's up, Joe?
What up, Joe?
How you doing, brother?
Afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing today? How's Arkansas?
It is cold and it's about to start snowing like a bitch. So
shit, dude. How much are you gonna get?
They say around 8 inches. So
are you gonna be locked in your house?
Yeah, they're gonna keep us off the road tomorrow. So I'll probably get done here, get home about 2:00, and I really don't have anywhere to go. So we'll just stay at home for a couple days. But
hell yeah,
it doesn't
football to watch.
It doesn't bother me. Last time we had like 7-8 inches of snow, we were off for a week because it just didn't warm up enough to melt the ice in the parking lots. And pushing dollies across icy parking lots is not fun.
Yeah, I mean, I trust me, I'm going through the same shit in Ocean City. It's been not above 34 degrees since we've gotten all this snow in Ocean City, and my neighborhood is still mostly black ice. It's pretty gnarly around here. The schools still haven't gone back, and we got the snow on, I think, Tuesday or Monday. So
yeah, they closed all the schools in Little Rock and surrounding areas like at 4:00 yesterday for today and tomorrow, and it hasn't even snowed yet. That's
Joe, how is the like? Do they have a ton of snow trucks down there, or no? Are they
do, yeah,
ill-equipped or well-equipped?
RDOT does a really good job of getting the roads ready and prepped. And now, if we got like 2 feet of snow, that might be different. And ice storms suck. The ice storms suck, but the snowstorm's been all right. We lost power for 4 days once during an ice storm. That was not fun.
Is this regular? Do you guys get this like every year, or is it like once every couple of years kind of thing?
It's about once a year. A good snow comes in, or at least an ice storm of some sort. And it was like 2016, 2017 for Christmas. There was an ice storm, and the power lines were frozen. So I'd never seen anything like this in my life. They came out with shotguns and shot the ice off the power line. You would think that was.
Name something more Arkansas than that.
What?
I think it was a hazard, but apparently not.
You remember when we were kids, that BGE commercial we hear all the time? Wires down, red alert. You know that one? They're not doing that on that commercial. That's the first thing I think about.
Is that not the most Arkansas bullshit, like you said, Brooks, ever? They're shooting down the ice.
That's awesome.
Now, I don't know what was in the guns, but they were definitely using shotguns, getting that ice off the line.
It's gonna be those rubber pellets, those rubber bags.
Fucking crazy. Oh man!
You step outside, and we looked at each other like, "Are we really seeing this right now?"
Yeah, they could be those bag guns, those beanbag guns.
Yeah,
but they were good shots. They
Joe,
got
what game? Sorry, what game are you this weekend? Are you most excited about watching? It could be college, NFL, whatever. Obviously, don't pick the Ravens. Pick anything but the Ravens game.
We're all excited about the Ravens.
You know, I'm probably only going to watch the Ravens game, to be honest. I might watch the Commanders game, but I don't know. I think the Commanders game is going to be interesting because I think Baker wants to prove a point that he belongs in the league. So he wants to get there and prove it. And no better way to do it than they would go to Detroit next week, wouldn't they, if they win because they're the lower seed?
It depends.
It would depend on if the Eagles won. We won't know because they reseed in the NFL, so the number 1 seed will play the lowest seed available no matter what. So yeah,
well, they are the Bucks are the lowest seed, right?
No, the Bucks are the 3 seed.
Oh, yeah, they won their division.
They won their division.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Washington would be going to Detroit no matter what if they won because they're the number 7.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A good game. Hey, yeah. I don't really care about the college anymore. All those teams suck.
I thought you'd be excited to watch Ohio State kick the shit out of Texas, knowing that you don't like Texas very much.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not an Ohio State. I mean,
that's fair.
No, I only like Ohio State to mess with my dad because he hates them so much.
We got British Raven waiting on the wings. Do you have any Arkansas facts before we let you go here, Joe?
The state flag was done through a design contest, and the 25 stars on it represent ranked, being the 25th state.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
What does the Arkansas flag look like? I've never looked
Pulling it up now.
Is there anything you want us to say to British Raven, to Nick? Because I know you two have a phenomenal love relationship.
Yeah, Nick, get that shoulder going, buddy. Get that shoulder better. Get healthy.
Oh, all right. So they did a design contest when, like the 1800s sometime?
That I don't know. It didn't say.
That's a good looking flag.
Yeah, it's a good flag.
They became a
Simple,
state,
but it's good.
They became a state in 1836. But
Looks like they just redesigned the Confederate flag.
hey, don't
Do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't get him going.
don't do that. There are still quite a bit of Confederate flags around here. I won't lie.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're in Maryland too, believe it or not.
Well, I hope you heard me on the last podcast. The New York Jets came out with the American flag upside down when they ran out for their last game. So freaking stupid.
Such a
And the Jets, wasn't the Jets logo upside down too? Wasn't the Jets flag upside down too?
I believe so as well.
If there's any franchise in the NFL that would do it, it's them.
Yeah,
sure.
it wouldn't
Hey,
surprise me.
did you see that, Joe? They just said Zay Flowers is out for the game.
Yeah, I saw it.
Schefter has tweeted it, so it is gospel at this point. Zay Flowers is out on Saturday night, which sucks. But anyway, we're going to bring British Raven on to talk about that a little bit. Joe, do you have any other stuff you want to say?
Yeah, real quick before I go, you missed On the Border in the snake draft.
Ooh,
and
shit.
who knows?
Two local chains. One's here, one's not. Black Bear Diner, which started in California, has made its way out here. It's amazing. It's like a Denny's and IHOP and all in one, but their food's better. And Chevy's Tex-Mex.
Ooh.
Chevy's.
Oh, you know another one?
They existed.
I there's a better one than Chevy's that we missed. Chewy's.
Chewy's is good.
I didn't know if y'all knew what Chewy's was, but Chewy's is, yeah.
And we forgot California Pizza Kitchen.
I had it, but I don't love it.
I just decided to not include it.
But Chevy's is a great call. Chevy's is awesome. Damn.
Famous Dave's? Anyway.
Oh. Are they still around?
All right. I don't know. Joe, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being such a loyal listener. We love you.
Joe, you the man, dude.
We're going to bring British Rip. Thanks, Joe.
All right, later, guys.
Later, buddy. Be good, man.
All right. Joe is
Nick?
out. British Raven's in. What's up, Nick, dude? How you doing?
I'm not too bad, guys. How are you all doing?
Good. God.
Wonderful. Are you sober today? Because the last time we all weren't sober when we were all talking together.
I have been sober since.
Oh, good. Smart.
Dang.
I mean, I could still be drunk, but I think I'm sober. I've not consumed any alcohol since. So,
What'd you do to your shoulder?
Yeah, what happened with your shoulder?
Well, similar to your region of the US, we're having a bit of I'd say an Arctic blast in England. And just after the Ravens game, my partner said I needed to take the trash out. And I forgot that it was -3 degrees outside.
Okay.
The earth recorded a sack on me. And I re-injured my right shoulder.
The earth recorded a sack on me.
That's the only way I can say it to make it sound good.
The way you word things is so exquisite.
Tell me you have like a ring camera that caught that.
I do, but unfortunately, I was just below the ring camera.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
that would have been great content.
Because you were on the ground?
Yes. That was the first thing I checked whilst I was on the ground, actually, to make sure that the ring camera caught it, and it didn't.
Oh, no. What a dagger.
My shoulder was like partially dislocated at the point. I was like checking on with my damaged hand, like, let me see if the ring camera caught this, and no, it did not.
Yeah.
And then I put my shoulder back in and then stood up.
All for nothing.
That's a shirt. The earth recorded a sack on me.
Yeah.
Nick, what are you looking forward to the most in this NFL weekend? It could be Ravens or it could be whatever.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the Ravens do without Zay Flowers.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be a lot more two tight ends like Andrews and Likely, or do you think we'll get Aguilar involved more? How do you think they'll handle it?
See, I think what the Ravens will miss the most out of Zay Flowers is the motion stuff that he brings to the offense.
Yeah.
But we have a guy that often gets overlooked named Tylan Wallace,
Mhm.
who runs just as fast, if not faster, than Zay Flowers. So get the ball in his hands, keep the motion going, and maybe we can keep the offense on the same trajectory that it's been on for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think a lot of that pre-snap and motion stuff is where Zay really shines without, even if he doesn't get the ball, if the possibility exists of him getting an end around or a jet sweep, the defense really has to key on that, and not having that is really going to be tough for the Ravens offense, and we'll see how they adjust. I mean, it's not going to be the first time we've been without a star player. Every NFL team has to deal with injuries like this, and we're lucky that Zay has even had a chance to play this week. Or even has a chance to play moving forward in the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that are missing a lot more. I mean, even more important players like a la Aiden Hutchinson. We can go on and on, but I totally agree with you. I think the pre-snap motion stuff is going to be really tough to replicate with Zay.
Absolutely, I agree. But we also don't give the pre-snap motion the credit that it deserves in opening up the run game.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Because it gives both levels of defense chance to think about something. And if we remove that, then they know what we're going to do. So we can't remove that entirely from the offense. So I would expect Tylan Wallace to be doing more of that.
And it also allows, to your point, it allows protections to change as well.
Yep.
When you see the pre-snap motions. Lamar can make that call, or even a center can make that call.
Yeah.
By whatever code words they have going on.
Yeah, they see how the defense reacts to the motion, and maybe they're like, "Oh, this is zone," or "This is man," and then they can change the play accordingly.
Yeah.
Or see where the rush is coming from.
Absolutely.
Are you going to be watching the other games this weekend as well, or do you have one that you're excited for the most?
You know what? I'm pretty much a neutral fan outside of the Ravens, so I'll probably watch every game that is offered.
Yeah.
But the Ravens game is the one that I'm most looking forward to.
I don't blame you.
And do all the games come through Sky Sports?
I don't personally use Sky Sports.
Okay.
I think their coverage since the late Kevin Cadle passed away has been very elementary. So I just catch Game Pass International.
Oh, okay. How does that work? Is that on YouTube TV as well?
No, it's provided by a company called DAZN. You probably know of them.
Oh, yeah.
That they're a boxing provider primarily, but they are exquisitely cheap.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
£140 for the year.
Oh, shit, dude. We pay like 4 times that much here.
Yeah, no shit. What's it, like 100? Is that like $170 US?
Thereabouts, yes. Perhaps cheaper.
Yeah, I think it's like $400 or $500 in the US for the package for this season.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
They're trying to grow the game internationally. I don't think that they would try to gouge you on prices. That makes a lot of sense. But
Nick, we never got a chance to ask you this, and I hate to constantly keep bringing up that you're overseas, but we don't get the chance to ask these questions to anyone else, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you go to every single game, every NFL game that is ever out there?
See, it's common for NFL fans in the UK to do that. But for me, I've only really been to Ravens games. So somehow I survived the first one.
Oh my god,
the Jaguars.
Jesus. I was at Lighthouse Tavern watching that game with you. You opened up early that day.
I did. We brought bagels. I remember.
It was horrible. It was just me and Fender and little Jerry.
Little Yeti.
You know what makes that game worse for me is the fact that it was my first NFL experience in person, but afterwards the Jaguars team bus drove right past me and pointed and laughed.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
So where I was actually sat at Wembley Stadium was near the industrial exit, which is where all the coaches drive in and drive away. And they closed the road off, so I couldn't get an Uber back into the city of London. And I'm looking down at my phone, frantically trying to get this Uber. And I look up, and the Jaguars team bus is just driving past.
Damn. And they just laugh at you.
Yeah, pointed and laughed. At least three players minimum.
What jersey were you wearing?
I was wearing the 52 Ray Lewis jersey.
Gotcha.
Nice. Oh, they can't laugh at that.
I always wonder, like, you see those games in whatever country they're in now, because they play in so many. And there'll be like random team jerseys. Like it could be the Eagles playing the Dolphins, and you'll randomly see a Buccaneers jersey or a Ravens jersey. And it's like, okay, I guess people just want to wear their NFL fandom.
Yeah,
it's a very unique experience.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Does the crowd like sort of get behind one team normally, or is it just kind of like random like fandom around the stadium?
They get behind the feeling of the game. So they'll cheer a touchdown, they'll cheer an interception, or they'll cheer a good play.
But for either team, just does not matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter unless you're a specific fan of that team.
Sure.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Nick, I think this could be a Gary Williams Summer Lawn Furniture road trip. If the Ravens happen to get a London game next year, or, something over there, we all go and hang out and have fun.
Well,
It would
they
be
announced
crazy
our
if the Ravens
schedule,
did
but
that.
not where.
Yeah, they announced the teams we're playing, but not where.
Yeah.
The biggest one for me is hopefully that Green Bay game is at Lambeau, because I want to go there. We're playing at the Packers next year, and I think we should talk about a trip. But anyway, Nick, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening and hanging out. We're going to bring Austin on now. Do you have any last thoughts, or you have a score? I know you said 9-6.
6-9.
My it's going to be 6-9.
Yeah.
That flew under the radar until you guys caught it.
Yeah. I saw it this past podcast, and I was like,
Yeah.
this fucking guy.
See, I thought Ryan would have picked up on that when I started making the comment, but nobody did, so I just ran with it. So congratulations, it lasted 4 weeks.
All right, Nick. Thank you.
You're the
buddy.
man,
Keep
dude.
listening,
Thank you.
and,
I appreciate you guys. Take it easy.
See you,
Appreciate
buddy.
you too, buddy. Be good, man.
all right, we're gonna bring Austin on. Austin's been commenting a ton today. What's up, Austin? How you doing?
What up,
man?
dude?
You were on mute, by the way. I don't know if I can take you off. Hopefully you can get that figured out. Brooks, any help?
No, he's got to do it on his side. Austin, can you hear us?
Austin, can you hear us? You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
This is awesome to watch. This is so good. It's like watching Charlie Chaplin actually move his lips.
Well, it's like watching you half the time we're doing the podcast.
What your fucking mouth? He's still on mute talking. I love it. It's great.
Oh,
Nice.
I love
He's checking it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on mute.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot! I thought I was muted.
There we go.
My
We
bad.
got him. We got him.
What's up, dude?
You look like you're making good points.
I hope you were ordering a pizza the entire time or so.
No. Yeah, I should be fine now.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah, you're good.
Am I still on mute?
No,
No,
you're good.
you're good.
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
What jersey you got on there? Is it 80 or 88? I can't tell.
That's the thing. It's coming up with your guys' video on mine slow too, just right behind.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
You might have to.
Okay,
You might have to
Let's
close
move
out your
on.
YouTube. Is your YouTube on?
On good. Brian, I don't know. So this is actually a Des Bryant.
Oh shit!
Des Bryant, Baltimore Ravens.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's amazing. He put up the X. I love that.
wow, I forgot he played for the Ravens. I really did.
Oh,
He scored a touchdown.
that's-
Lamar
that's
threw him a
good
touchdown
point.
pass.
Let me see.
I think he's
Closing
listening to the
the
YouTube
YouTube.
version.
He's
Yeah,
listening to
he
us
was
on
the YouTube
YouTube
version.
as
I'll
we
just
try to
close all
communicate.
the other.
Yeah, close all the other ones out.
Well,
Dude, that's awesome. A
all
Des
right. Is it any
Bryant.
better?
Yep.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4.
I can,
Bang,
dude, we can hear you
bang,
as long as you're
bang.
just not hearing us.
Well,
way above.
unfortunately, I can't hear you anymore.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you.
There you go.
Giddy up.
Hey, there you go.
Dude,
Hopefully,
I forgot Des Bryant played for the Ravens.
I
Is
know.
amazing.
For 1 second, this jersey was on sale.
First time caller, first time user. Nice.
I don't. I don't think I've
where-
seen a Des Bryant jersey.
Where did you find it?
Neither have I.
Jersey on
Oh,
sale?
I bought it
Pictured
straight from the NFL site.
That's
you
awesome.
go to like a Dick's Sporting Goods or a Modell's, and they're like in like the back corner, for like
Oh, yeah.
$4.
There's
It's,
no way that there are still Models. Are there still Models?
I don't know.
I keep hearing about Modell's, and I've never been to one. I hear it's like
Really?
a grocery store, and also happens. It's kind of like food and stuff in Parks and Rec. If you ever watch
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I get all my food and most of my stuff.
most of my stuff. So this is actually my first video watching you guys.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome,
awesome, dude. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
interacting with us so much.
Yeah.
What do you
absolutely.
want to talk about with this this game, or do you have any
I'm pumped for this game. I'm also scared because I'm from Arizona, but
Mhm.
I've been a Ravens fan since the Kyle Bowler days.
Oh God.
good days? Good days to
yeah.
become a fan.
Yeah, good old 8 and 8 years.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah,
were
no, I became a fan at like 11 when a kid in my neighborhood, I guess he's like 10 years older than me, Todd Heap was drafted.
Hmm.
Went to my church, high school. Younger brother was my high school quarterback, and yeah, so picked a team, stuck with them through some tough years, and I'm pumped. I've been doing fantasy for like 10 years now, and
Hell yeah, dude.
Where
love
are
it.
you at? Where are you at in Zona?
So I'm from Mesa, so just East Valley, Phoenix. But I've lived here in DC for about 6.5 years now.
Oh shit!
okay.
You're down in
Nice.
DC. Okay, so you're more local. Do you get to go to? Did you go to any games this year?
I actually have never been to a Ravens game.
Okay.
What?
Yeah,
Dude, you gotta get up
they really don't pay all that much on the hill.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
feel
you're up-
that.
Yeah.
I
Are you
feel
up
that.
on? Are you up on the
I interned on the hill as well, so I feel that.
Oh, bet for who?
An Ohio House member.
Oh, cool. My dad was a member of the House and Senate too.
Oh,
So-
nice.
What? Holy
So
shit!
you're up on the you're up on the lettered streets. I'm assuming
Oh,
like-
the wetter street, sorry.
the letter streets. Like, are you on a Q or an H or a?
Oh, I'm actually on East Capitol.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Darn.
Yeah, I'm like 2
All right.
blocks behind the Supreme Court.
Oh, nice. Shit, you're right in the middle of things.
You ever go over there and hang out?
Oh yeah, it's literally 2 blocks away. I live
Here we
4th
go.
and East Capitol.
You ever go hang out on the 6th by any chance?
I was here for the 6th. I live above the corner store, and I had a lock, deadbolt the basement, and like the
Holy
entry,
shit!
and then above here I had that dead bolted. I grabbed my baseball bat.
You do a lot of baseball.
Doing a lot of
Oh,
baseball.
yeah.
Just taking dry hacks.
Oh, it's great sporting.
What are you thinking? The games this week, the games this weekend. What are you thinking is going to be your favorite other than the Ravens Steelers?
Oh, I mean Denver. That 8.5, I think, is looking too big. I mean, the numbers went down apparently, right? You said it went down to 6.5.
Denver.
No, it's 8.5. It's 8.
Denver is
Still
8.
8.5.
Yeah.
Shit. I feel like that might be easy money. I know you disagree, Dustin, but
Hey, man. Look,
Hey.
we all have our opinions.
Everybody, Dustin's in the minority here. So
Yeah.
I don't think I am. If you ask like most NFL fans
on
I
this
think they
show,
are.
you
On-
are,
You're right. On this show, I am in the minority, and I can't say.
And-
anything.
and you're gonna get a Bo Nix tattoo on your ass.
Yeah.
Never find out.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get a Bo Nix tattoo.
three
if they
letters.
beat, if they
3
beat the,
letters. That's
if
it.
they beat the Bills by 30, I'm not getting.
It could
a
be
Bo
2
Nix
letters. If you want 2 letters, we'll give you that.
Yeah. NX.
But just BO,
get-
just Bo.
Oh, BO was good.
No, you can get Bo my
Hey.
back across
Hey, I mean-
across the front of you.
tattoo. You guys got a lot of
Right?
ideas that are not going to come to fruition. What do you got? Score prediction on the Raven game?
Ravens. I think I already sent it. It was a 2024.
Yeah.
20-24. Okay, I like.
Because
it.
past decade about, I think we've only had 2 games, the most recent one, and one about 10 years ago that were outside of 1 score.
Yeah, I
I
remember
think you're
the
right.
other one.
I think that was
It
the Troy Smith game. It was like a rainy day, if I remember correctly.
I
Yeah.
remember that we had a season opener against them, which happened to be on 9/11, the anniversary of 9/11, and Haloti Ngata ate Ben
Love
Roethlisberger
Haloti
for
Ngata.
breakfast, and the score was like 35-7. Terrell Suggs and Haloti Ngata both had impact plays in
Yeah.
that game. Anyway,
Suggs, another Arizona guy.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of Arizona connections. Why not
love-
a Cards fan?
What? Yeah.
Oh, well, ask someone why a Cards fan first.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. You had some
So-
Carson Palmer's years and a
Yeah,
Kurt
that's-
Warner year.
Well,
Yeah.
they lost the Super Bowl.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made it to a Super Bowl, so I mean that would have been
Three
That's
1,000-yard receivers in the same season.
Wow.
It was incredible. I love Kurt Warner. My little brother
Yeah.
did Pop Warner with his kid. So
I got a question for you, Nick. This is, we are not political. Is
Oh,
your
yeah,
father still out there in DC or?
no, he was actually. This is the nice part. Politics has been strained lately, and he retired from the Senate back in 2018,
Okay.
and he actually got nominated for ambassadorship. He's been over in Turkey, and politics lies at the water's edge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then so do you still have family back in Mesa?
Mesa, no, but over Tempe, my brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, two brothers. One is doing law school over ASU, and then oldest brother is just living there. 2 kids.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got a buddy that owns a big pizza joint out there called Slice on the Mill out in Tempe. It's cool.
Slice on the mill. Is it on the mill?
It's on the mill.
Nice.
Amen.
That's good. I used to drive
good
Uber
name for
for a little just to make extra money, and go out to Mill Ave. Friday night, 3 times bump driving. Man,
A lot of strong looking ladies out there. They're very smart.
a lot of librarians.
lot of power hitters who can turn on the fastball. We'll put it that way.
No, ASU's funny. To apply for ASU, they just go up and then they just check your pulse, and that's how you get in.
Giddy up.
That's how West Virginia used to be. Probably still is, actually.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Anyway,
man. Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, dude.
Last question I have for you. How did you find out about us?
Oh, it just popped up on my YouTube. I'm kind of obsessed with the Ravens, and it came up with the logo and everything. It was like, hey, Ravens banter? Sure.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, I'm
yeah.
glad
Awesome, man.
I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, and hopefully you listen in the future. And
Oh,
hopefully
yeah,
the
I'll
Ravens-
subscribe right now.
Hell yeah!
Sweet,
Hopefully
man.
the
No, you're the
Ravens
man,
can,
dude. Thank you so
can
much,
kick the
dude.
shit out of the Steelers this weekend, and we can have more fun talking about that on Monday.
One more fun fact. It's been
Go for it.
12 years since Super Bowl.
Yes,
12
it is.
years before that was our first one.
Correct.
Brent
Mhm.
Dilfer was 28. So was Joe Flacco. Yesterday was Lamar's
Lamar
birthday.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson
Yeah.
turned 28 yesterday.
And 12 years ago, the Super Bowl was held in New Orleans. This year
Yep.
is New Orleans.
Yep. Stars
love
are
this.
aligning.
I love this
If the
numbers
lights
game.
go out, at halftime again, we're gonna have to do something crazy.
It's going to be the other side of the stadium.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're gonna have to
That was
talk to
all
somebody
things.
down there.
I love that. That's a great numbers fact right there. 12, 12, and 28. I love this. And New
British
Orleans
Raven says the prophecy has foretold of
told
this.
us this.
Oh,
It's
thanks so
true.
much for having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
dude.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man.
joining,
Of course, dude.
and go Ravens, dude.
Hey, go Ravens.
All right, go Ravens.
Hey, buddy.
See you, Austin.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Austin.
man. That
Hell yeah.
was fucking awesome.
That was fun, dude. We had some callers today. My logo says go Irish, I guess, and that's because I don't love Notre Dame, but I'm rooting for them tonight against Penn State. That's what I'm looking forward to tonight. What do you guys have on the agenda for the rest of your day/evening? Brooks, you just gonna go sit on the toilet for a while, or?
I hope not. Like I said, we're on the up and up. So I'm actually gonna try to get some work done here the rest of the day since I'm so far behind over the past week. And that's really about it. We Banks was over grandma and grandpa's house
Oh, nice.
for like the last 3 days just because both of us have been down. So we finally picked him up yesterday, had him for the first night. So I'll probably pick him up a little early today and hang out with him a little bit since I missed the little guy. So
I miss
Awesome.
the little guy too, man. I miss the little guy, and I'm gonna do a sentimental post to you and Caitlin here in a little bit with all my pictures from Indianapolis.
Oh man,
I haven't
make him
seen him
cry.
yet.
He's gonna turn into my dad in a second.
Oh, shut your yapper, dickhead! I did that earlier in the pod, man.
All right. Well,
all right.
I
Well,
love you
hey,
guys.
I love you too, but I want to say this. We did an extended podcast today, and we knew we were going to do an extended podcast today. So I appreciate you very much for hanging in there. Brooks, it's good to have you back. Go for it, man.
Couple breaking news items here that we're getting from, well, I'm seeing it on Pigtowns, but a couple different people. Some arbitration settlements for the Orioles. Cedric Mullins gets 8.725. Ryan Mountcastle 6.787, and Adley got. Where did Adley go? I lost it. Adley was settled too, so we avoided all that. Adley was 5.5.
See, so because it's Title II.
Yeah.
Because then Title, when he goes T1, he's going to get popped. By popped, I mean he's going to go pop up.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah. Maybe if he stops hitting pop-ups. Anyway.
Well, no, but thank you guys for hanging in and having a
Yes.
good time. What's on the agenda for the rest of my day is work. We had 2 of our 3 industrial air conditioning units go down last night. That was a blast. So I'm currently just taxing the one that is still running. So I'm going to go make sure that the guys that are working on them get the job done. Also, I have the Plug Uglies reunion tonight at the Chaucer. What? Watch out. All the hurricanes are coming into town, baby. And it is not hurricane season.
I thought hurricane season was over.
Ooh, Trevor.
It gonna rain.
Trevor Rogers and the Orioles settled for 2.6.
Man spells Rogers the correct way too, by the way. So we should have got 3.7. But
take care of each other. Take care of your friends. Brian says it on this podcast every week.
Every single week.
Very important, especially if you are a male and you have problems. Reach out to your friends. Talk to them. Everyone will be a lot more open than you think they will be in your head. I promise you that. And if you need to talk to somebody, talk to us. Reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you find the show. We talk about it every week. It's super important. And we talk about it because it is important. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. And thank you for hanging out with us for 2 hours today.
Love you guys. This is an extended one. Say it every week. I do this because I got friends that love me and I love them back. Mental health. Stay strong. Stay strong.
Brooksy?
Yeah. Hey, stay healthy. I just got a text from my wife saying that the hospitals are there's a lot of really sick patients in there right now. Apparently there's shit going around everywhere. So try to stay healthy as much as you can. So that's all I got. And RIP Brian Mattis. I still can't believe that.
Brian Mattis.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That was not fun news to get.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Anyway, love you guys. Thanks.
Love
for
you
listening.
guys. See you guys.
It was.
I'll talk to you boys in a little bit. See you.